GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
Well, that's why I'm not concerned about when they say, "Oh, Elden Ring's gonna be open world." I feel like, well, actually, Dark Souls it's kind of that. It's not in the sense of a vast overworld, but it is an open world because you can technically go anywhere and do, as long as you can stack up to it, you don't have to do things in the order, in the ideal order. You know what I mean? Like
My
you
only
could
concern,
actually.
my only concern has been, and that's just to be fair, Dark Souls 3 didn't come out in as bad a shape, and neither did Sekiro. They were 30 frames, so it's not like they were 60 frames, but they were consistent. There was never any really bad frame rate issues like the prior games.
Right.
So, in fairness, okay, that's true. They have a little better of a history, but early on, every game had its issues. Even Bloodborne on PlayStation 4 still has problems. It still doesn't even do.
That's it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bloodborne.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? But so that's my concern. It's like, okay, so and sure, they're not open world, and they're controlled areas, but that's the whole deal. They're controlled areas. You're having this issue. Now you're doing this in open world. I don't want to have frame rate problems, not in this day and age where everything is running at 60. You know what I mean? So it's just, I assume it's not going to be, but it's always going to be in the back of my head. Is that going to stop me from buying Elden Ring? No.
You'll still play. You'll still play. Like it when you hit Blighttown Part 2. That's when you
be like, yeah,
peace out.
Fucking From Software.
I'll wait for the remaster. They did it again. You fuckers. Yes.
Welcome back, guys. I'm sure you've loved our talk of some more Dark Souls.
Oh, no, I'm going to go this shit out. This is super boring. Nobody cares about that.
Oh, my God.
That's what happens when we Dark Souls, when we're supposed to not Dark Souls.
Yeah, for sure. This is Mad Dog. And, of course, that is Dream Twister, and this is the real 274 of GG the Mouthful Podcast.
GG! You have died.
I have died. You have died. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. You have defeated?
No, you defeat. That was the original. So Dark Souls 1 was not translated very well the first time it came out. So every time you beat a boss, it'll say you defeated.
Oh, you defeated.
I'm like, you defeated what? The boss? Yes. Okay. Well, can you finish your sentence? And it'll say something like that. Yeah, it was not. It was not ready. I mean, it was definitely ready. It was just, for some reason, the quality of the translation did not match the quality of the game.
Yeah. At this time. Yeah.
At this time. Yeah.
Mr. Santos, it is Friday. It is another day for a podcast. How are you feeling, sir?
I am. It's Friday. You said it. Now it's super rainy and it's crappy outside, and it kind of ruins the any plans that I have for the weekend. But that's fine because that'll just give me an excuse to stay at home and play some more.
Exactly. Some may say it was ordained by God.
It was. Yes. It was Bourdained. It was Bourdained. I watched the Anthony Bourdain Roadrunner, but I'll talk about that one next my time.
Yeah, I'm glad you remembered, sir. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Thanks so much
for
tuning in, guys. If this is your first time listening, first off, please go to goodgame.rocks and join the conversation there. That's ROCKS. Takes you right to our Facebook group. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share. podcast with everyone. What we normally do, guys, when we're not playing Dark Souls is we first go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and then, of course, finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, it's backlog season.
Oh, that's
Oh,
very
yeah.
appropriate.
It
That
sure
is that is very on the. I don't know. I have a huge backlog of games. I have games that I have not taken out of shrink wrap. I'm sad to say. I don't know if I'll even gonna get to them, but we need to talk about them because nothing else is coming out right now.
Yep.
Like there's nothing on there. I mean, that's not entirely true. I'm sure.
No. I
You know,
mean,
you're
nothing-
gonna. Someone's
major
gonna say,
tentpoles,
you
yeah,
know, well, you know, Dragon Ball, Tenkaichi, High Soul Man 3 XL is coming out, and you know, it's the best one of those, you know, RPG dating sim fighting game, and you know, that's good for you, you know, but. I'm not even sure that's a real title.
No, I would say it's not, sir.
Okay.
Although it sounds definitely
like
something
one.
like something Square would make.
Yes.
So,
No,
for sure.
Square will call it like 365 divided by 2 on this
Well, that's-
birth to die. Yeah, something like that.
Man.
Remastered.
He
Remake.
doesn't. I know it's not. It's to be the first one, and they'll still call it remastered.
Yes.
He doesn't kid. Unfortunately, Square is crazy that way. But yes, there are games coming out for the record, and there's a
Mhm.
few that are on my list to grab, but they're
Yep.
not earth shattering. You know what I mean? They're not the major tent poles.
Right.
And because of that kind of opens up some space. I think the next major game, the one that comes to mind is October, and that'll probably be Far Cry 6.
Oh yeah, Far Cry. Yes, October.
Yeah,
I was gonna
think that's
say
the next
the most-
major temple one
Yes.
where I may be interested in. Between now and
I will
then,
be there.
there's a few games that I'm probably going to pick up, but nothing that's nothing that may just fall into the backlog itself. You know what I mean? So yeah. So
December
we're
has
going to
Halo,
talk about.
or I say December. I don't know. Holiday season has Halo. Sometime between October and November, Halo's gonna be.
That is
So-
that is a thing. Not for me,
Yes.
but that is a thing for some folks. So yeah, we're going to go through some of the games that we may take on, considering we're still playing Dark Souls. But we may
Dark Souls.
try to get through in our backlog. There's a few that I really do want to jump into, but I just don't know when I'll do it. But anyway, we'll get to that a little later on in the show, of course.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and start with what we always start with, sir, and that is what we have been up to, Mr. Dream Twister. What you been doing?
So I watched the Anthony Bourdain movie Roadrunner because I haven't played anything other than Dark Souls, and I'm not gonna talk about that. Still
We
doing
just
the
spent
Dark
about
Souls
literally
remaster.
40 minutes speaking about it. So
Yeah, and I wanted to get it out because get it out of the way because I didn't want to bore anybody else with. I'll say this: whenever I'm playing, a game for several weeks, I always try to bring some different take, even though sometimes I don't make it. It doesn't come across, but I'll talk about how impressive the performance of that game is running on PC. Like you don't need a crazy PC. With the PC that I'm using, I'm keeping an eye on the performance metrics to see, because I'm curious about that stuff. Like I want to know, how is this stressing my video card, or how is this stressing the system altogether? And no, I mean, with very few, it turns out it uses very few resources. Like it only uses like of the 10 gigabytes of memory that the video card has, it only uses like 1.5. That's not to say that it allocates more, but what it actually uses is just that, which is very minuscule. And sometimes I forget to remember that, of course, there is a reason this game is old. This game is from 2012.
and they just touched it up here and there a little bit on the well, that's not fair. They did some good work on it. Like I had to admit it doesn't, it's not like the best looking game, but it holds up very, very well. It helps that that game was gorgeous, and it still is, but it was gorgeous back when it came out. So it's not like it was too difficult of a thing to achieve, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a game that runs very well in all areas, you know, Blighttown included, and Orlando included, and it makes me think of the games that we're playing right now, where everything is so wants to be so graphic intensive and crazy. Like the graphics that I get in this game, you know, playing Dark Souls, it's like this is enough to have a very good experience,
Mhm.
and you're achieving it with like a tenth of the power that you
Processing power.
need.
Mhm.
Yeah, the processing power that you need to give me, I don't know, Cyberpunk, to give you an example, to give you a bad example.
Yeah.
So it goes to show that not every game needs to shoot. Even the AAA titles, they don't necessarily need to shoot to those graphical, what would you call it, like fidelity.
Yeah, yeah. Shoot for
You
the
know,
stars when it comes to
they
it.
don't need, yeah, you don't necessarily have to give me 4K resolution, not the 4K resolution, but the world of the game itself, like the assets and stuff. You don't need to give me like this super highly detailed textures that are just gonna eat away at the system resources and make the games run limited. Like sometimes I feel like all this, all the developers are trying to bring up like the graphical fidelity, crank it up as high as as this consoles could do.
Mhm.
All right, and we like the idea because we're thinking, yes, it's next gen, and we want our games to run, to look amazing, and we complain when the game is stuck at 30. Well, there's no choice. That the machine doesn't have the power to give you the
Can't do
graphical
both.
fidelity that it's doing. Exactly. So if I feel like if the and of course this is all playing. I think I have it capped as 60, and because I've heard that, or I don't know if it's a version with if it's the same thing with the remaster. As a matter of fact, maybe it's not the same thing with the remaster, but I remember the previous version of Dark Souls, the Prepare to Die edition that came out to PC. If you started messing with the frame rate, it'll mess up with the physics, and it will make stuff like will jump like crazy, and it was not good.
Mhm.
It was kind of hacky. Actually, very much hacky, because you actually had to hack something to make it run at 60. Somebody had to mod it. But anyway, all this to say, I feel like if the developers could target that current generation graphics, or maybe even last generation graphics,
I think
now they were
there,
looking
right?
really
Yeah.
good with this power. Like, think of Last of Us 2, how amazingly gorgeous that game looked, right? Think of Red Dead Redemption 2, and like that graphical fidelity, that's great. If you can manage to do that, Ghost of Tsushima, at that, and use the rest of the power to pump those pixels into running a consistent performance mode, or a, I hate to call it performance mode, because it sounds like they're taking away a lot of the graphical, but that's actually what it's doing.
Mhm.
Which is fine. I'm actually thankful that games have that option. I feel like that would be our games from now on. We will not have to worry about performance issues at all, if that's the case. I feel like the last game and the cramp piece was freaking Cyberpunk,
Cyberpunk,
where that was the last game that we expected. It's so triple A, it was so quadruple A that at the end of the day, it just couldn't run. Like literally, it could not run.
Actually, I think you nailed it on the head there. I think that is now the poster child of what not to do with your game. You know what I mean? It's like every developer, and to be fair, there's short memories and stuff like that, but it's still pretty recent and it's still pretty glaring that that happened. And so yeah, I think
Yeah.
all of them are kind of going, yeah, let's not do that. Let's just make sure we do this correctly. Yeah, let's not be CD Projekt Red, because they were, the hot kids on the block. When Witcher 3 was, not that they weren't popular before that, but Witcher 3 really, really
Mm,
blew them up, and forget it.
yeah.
So they
Yeah.
squandered it basically.
All that goodwill, because they were to be fair, you can't blame them for trying to be ambitious on their idea, but the problem is that then you're trying to meet this goal and you're taking stuff out and you're not polishing enough, and I feel like a lot of developers have taken a lesson from that, to where you see games that were announced that you thought they were surefire hits for this year, and they're pushing them back. They're saying, no, actually we're gonna wait until 2022. We're still working on it. It's not easy working on during the pandemic, and we just don't want to repeat the mistake that happened with one of the most anticipated title of last year.
Yeah, for everyone.
So,
There was no. There are people who don't even play RPGs. We're like,
they were
yep,
excited.
I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm like, okay.
Oh hell yeah. That game, I'm still saying, when I can see a report from Digital Foundry, which I feel is like the authority on this, at least to me. When they give me the go ahead to play that game, where they can actually say, okay, this game is fixed. This game, it's good now, which is probably going to happen. You know what? I got the feeling that it might happen when the next gen comes out, and I got the feeling that they're going to remarket that game, and make it like they're gonna call it something edition, and not next gen edition. They're gonna call it something, Cyberpunk something edition. I don't know. But the thing is, they're gonna do a marketing push for when that game's released for next gen, proper, and that's when the game will probably be at a level that you can say, okay, let me jump in, because at the worst, it's probably going to be as buggy as Witcher 3 was the first time that it got released, and not as fucking Monster Truck World or whatever the worst game of all time is called.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was my little non-Dark Souls related thing, actually.
Nice.
But Dark Souls made me think about that, because, like I said, I was the fact that game is running so well, and I'm running at a 21:9 resolution. On PC, I'm going all out on the graphics, and it's just no hiccups whatsoever. That's another thing. Super, like, rock solid stable, no crashes, absolutely nothing. But yeah, there's another game that I have been testing, but I can't really talk about it because it is under NDA.
No?
Well, it's not it's a Ubisoft title that it's being developed. I can say that. Okay. And it is X extremely
Okay.
under NDA.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I think that's all that actually been played. I did test one thing on PlayStation 5,
Mhm.
and that is I got my invite for the beta of the firmware, and I bought an SSD drive. I bought a Samsung
Mhm.
980 Pro to test it out, and also because if this worked, um, I was just gonna return the external one that I bought because I wouldn't necessarily need it. And I don't need an internal and an external drive because the external was only you can only save PS4 titles on it, and they ran very well from it. To be fair, they run fantastic. That'll be a very good option, like for you, Matt. Though, for example, if you don't want to like dig into like opening your PS5 or anything like that, and you still play a lot of PS4 titles, like you can just dump them all into like a 1 terabyte, which 1 terabyte's not that expensive, and not have to worry, use your entirety of the internal space for the PS5 titles. So, and that's what I did. I went with a 1 terabyte SSD. I installed it. The process it's not as complicated as they made it sound, like it made it sound on all the reports. I still think it's something like the common folk is not going to want to mess with, because you're still having to consider a lot of things that you're not gonna necessarily know, if unless you're
Yeah,
into
it's
like
definitely
PC
not
stuff.
for folks like myself. It's definitely not for
Like,
me.
well,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I say, it's not hard. Like, for example, if you buy a PS, like if okay, this is the drive that you need to buy, uh, that has been vetted and it works, then yeah, opening up the system and putting it's not a big, it's not a big deal because it's just the bottom the bottom portion. You just lift it off. It's kind of tricky, but if you look at YouTube video, then it shows you how to do it. It's not difficult. Although I saw some people just like ripping that shit out, like if it was like they were trying to peel it off to never put it back again, and it was cringy as fuck. Because it's still plastic, and you can still break it if you don't do it right.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But no, it's you lift it out like it shows you, and then put in the drive is not a problem. You want to make sure that whatever drive you use has a heat sink, preferably, and preferably one that is not a high profile, because it has a cover. I see the cover a little like unnecessary, to be honest with you, because the SSD is not gonna fall off or anything like that. The SSD is held with a screw, so I guess it's not to have the security completely exposed. But then again, you are putting that cover at the end, So I don't know. Maybe you can just use a regular SSD. Doesn't matter the heatsink size, and just don't cover it. But because it came out with that metal cover, I decided to follow the rules and buy a little heat sink, because the Samsung didn't come with a heat sink, and a low profile heat sink was like $11, so it's not a big deal. And install it and tested it, and I gotta say, uh, it runs just like the internal drive. I tested it with a couple games, like I put Spider-Man, I put Dirt 5. I didn't do tests because I feel like you can find those on YouTube. You can find a
Mhm.
lot of people that have done like actual timing of everything. I was more concerned with, is this gonna load? Is this gonna load slower, or am I gonna notice like gaming hitches? Because it does say, hey, if if you encounter any issues playing the game while installed here, just move it to to the internal drive. Internal drive is not anything magical. It doesn't have, and it's not a special SSD that nobody else have being able to figure it out. It was at the time that it was unveiled, but now it's the SSDs, like those SSDs existed. It's just that by that time they were kind of expensive, and Sony was losing quite a bit of money on each PlayStation. Not anymore. And the reason for that is because, well, those things have come down in prices, and you can use one of those SSDs and you will not notice the difference. I mean, it loads exactly the same. The thing I liked also was that you don't suddenly lose the space, the internal space. Like, I didn't think this was gonna happen, but I was a little worried because every time corporation decisions and stuff like that, they tend to screw you with sometimes. Like I wasn't gonna be surprised if suddenly it was like, okay, now you have to run everything from the SSD, and the internal hard drive was left there. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but I can almost see it happen. Luckily that's not the case. You still, if you put if you put a 512 gigabyte SSD, I feel like that would be nice because that will complete your terabyte of space. Considering what you get with the PlayStation 5. I didn't think of that, and for the price difference, I just went ahead and put the terabyte, and yeah, man, it runs fine. So I went ahead and moved all the games all the games that I have on my external. I just moved them to the SSD and to the NVMe SSD. I should specify that it is an NVMe SSD and not just an SSD, so that you guys don't go into Amazon and buy the wrong thing. It runs fine. It runs great. Yeah, there was no issue. There was no problem. The beta itself, like the interface, has some additional features also that I think other people will appreciate, but I didn't go too into them. Honestly, it was more just testing to see how this worked, and okay, well, that's good because this SSD is cheaper than this external one that I bought, and I kind of don't want to have this on my card, so let me return it before it's too late. And luckily I was able to.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I did mention that I watched the Anthony Bourdain movie. You spoke about that one, called Roadrunner, and it's not a movie. It's actually more like it's a documentary.
It's a film, but yeah,
it's
what you say, yeah.
It's a film, yeah.
Fiction, yeah.
Right. And I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it because you already did. I'm gonna talk how I felt about it when I saw it, and that is that not being the primary how do you call that the audience for it necessarily, because like I didn't know the guy until you start talking about the shows, and I started watching a couple of shows, and it was like, okay, well, this is good, but it was not like the guy was never that influential. And it's because I honestly I did not know him. I did not know much about him or anything actually until you introduced him. But watching his story and the way that the way that things pretty much develop around his life, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and like you very well said, and like the movie itself tells you this is not gonna have a happy ending, because it didn't. A fact of life is that it didn't, and it was very recent. But it's still amazing to see the accomplishments, the way that he actually handled a lot of things, which I wouldn't necessarily say they were role modeling necessarily.
No, yeah, absolutely. He would probably be the first one to say, "I'm not a role model." You
No,
would follow.
exactly, and that's what's
Yeah.
cool about it. That's what I really enjoyed. Like from the get go, you could tell like I'm not trying to be anybody's role model. I just know how to do this, and I can do it. I know how to do it good. He got put in situations where he thought that was gonna be it, and suddenly that's keeping him away from from family, and that's making things difficult. And hey, it's a struggle of a very successful person, however you define success, because success is not happiness. At the end of the day, I mean, it depends on
can
what
be,
moves you,
but
right?
yeah,
It could
exactly.
be. It depends on what drives you, but like you can see, there's a lot of famous people that end up, unfortunately, committing the same thing that he did, which was he committed suicide. And and regardless of the circumstances, like I say, like I personally, my case is I don't want to be rich and I don't want to be famous. Like that's not for me. I want to live comfortable, yes, but I'm not looking for fame. I don't care about that. And also having so much money that I don't know what to do with it. It's not, also not my goal. Like I'm not pursuing that. That's not my motivation. I'd rather just be happy and humble and have the things I have, and you know call it whatever you want. I just want to call it lack of ambitions. It's fine. That's not my ambition. My
No,
ambition is I
no,
just want to
yeah,
be happy.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to live a stress-free life. I don't want drama in my life, and I feel like that's the thing that money and power and fame introduces, which is a lot of fucking drama, and I don't want to have that. So therefore my philosophy is just, hey, live your life, be thankful for what you have, uh and do the things that you like and that move you, and if that thing is getting yourself, making yourself richer, then that's more power to you.
Yeah.
That's your motivation. So yeah, man. This was, like I said, this was a very beautiful movie. At the end of the day, I really, really, really liked it. That is easily a 4.0.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
yeah, it was great. It was great. You guys should watch it. It's called Roadrunner, and I think, is it available? Is it available in streaming? I saw it
No,
at
not
the
yet,
NCN
but
theater, but
yeah,
I didn't know if it was.
I don't think it is yet, and it may be. It's pretty soon.
Maybe soon, because I think
These
it's
type of films don't really have a long shelf life in the theaters.
no.
So yeah, so it should be fairly soon that. But I'll probably I'll probably share the shit out of it. So don't even worry.
Yeah. A couple of movies that I wanted to watch that came out recently, but I haven't. So that's my see. I still made it. I still was able to made it at least half an hour of bullshit.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you. I was worried because I was like, "What have you been doing?" Oh, I've been playing Dark Souls again. Like, people want to hear about that. They had enough of hearing you talk about it, and now they had to hear me like blush about it.
If there's like how do I say it? There's like fans of the series out there. They're probably like they're eating it up. You know what I mean? So,
Yes,
but
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
I'll say this to close. It was the game I didn't know I wanted to go back to after the bullshit that was the first release, and I mean, not that it was bullshit, but it was kind of bullshit. It didn't run very well on the console that came out back in the day, and then the PC version supposed fix was all jacked up and that was not so great. So when the remaster got announced, I was like, I don't care. Like I did not. I did, and they were offering it for half off until I think it's gonna run out next month. And I didn't get to it until I started seeing how happy you were, how much you were enjoying it, and looking at videos now. What you were playing, I didn't realize that you have been playing this game for almost the entire year.
Yeah. It's funny. I haven't. I started off the year because there was a lull again.
Mhm.
I think the biggest hit early on in the year was Hitman 3, and I don't even have Hitman. I should say, I didn't have Hitman 2 at that point.
Mm.
So I was like, I'm not gonna get 3, and then it was just kind of a lull again. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, this is a perfect time. I do now, by the way, own all 3 Hitman. So I
So
intend
that's
to,
gonna get fixed real quick.
hint on the backlog there. But anyway, I am playing something new, and I really, really, really dig this game. It's called. So the name is not the best name. That's probably the only issue.
No, here we go.
It's called.
Guacamole Part 3. No,
It's called Ender Lily's Quietest of the Nights.
oh, rack is that?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've seen it or at least heard of it, but this is
And the ladies, yes, I have.
yeah, this is I know, but Quietest of the Night it's no one even
Quietest.
says that because it's like,
Listen.
why do you want to say that? Yeah.
Listen, what was that fucking game that I was playing that it just sounds like that? It was like, that Metroidvania game that I was playing. Blood, no. What is it called?
Bloodstain. Ritual of the Night.
Ritual of the Night. So yeah, it doesn't sound that much different that from
actually, and then it's exactly what this is. This is a 2D action RPG.
Oh, nice.
That is very Symphony of the Night-ish, but it is a gorgeous looking game. It has some interesting, I guess, nuances that you don't see in the other ones. First off, you have your major boss battles throughout the game. Each one will obviously give you new stuff, but the difference is you're playing as a young girl named Lily. She actually wakes up in the land has been taken over by or not taken over by, but essentially is dying to something called the Blight. And she is a descendant of a priestess, something like that, was able to control and sort of absorb the Blight. But unfortunately, it was too much for that priestess, and she was supposed to be the next one, but she was still too young. And this is kind of the backstory.
She looks like a kid here.
Yeah, but she was even younger at that point. So it was like, so she wakes up now as a child, still kind of young. And what you start off with, she actually does no fighting, believe it or not.
No, I'm seeing
it's
it.
the spirits behind.
It's really
the spirits that are with her that do the fighting, and you sort of assign them. You can assign up to 3 at a time, and there are apparently a lot of them because I've already got like 10, and I'm not even that far into the game. But you can only do 3 at a time, and then you can do 2 sets of 3. So you can set up 6, 3, and 3, right? And you can just switch them on the fly so that you can switch. So I have one that has a heavy hammer attack, and then a couple of side attacks, and then you have another one that's a sword attack. So the way it works is there's certain attacks that are unlimited. The sword attack is unlimited because it's just some swiping. There is no stamina bar, so you don't have to worry about that. There is a dodge. Her dodge is funny though. She just kind of takes a dive to the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it does the same purpose. Essentially, anything that you dodge at that moment, you sort of invincible for that split second that you dodge. And it's a lot of fun, dude. It is a lot of fun. I'm loving the art style. I'm loving the beauty behind it. The music is very different too. It's not something you would expect, especially from the visuals. And it's just great, and it's great.
Oh shit! This is I'm looking. You heard me typing. It was because I was already looking at. All right, let's go ahead and wish list it on Steam. And $24.99, not bad. And the reviews overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah,
the recent ones at least. It says overwhelmingly positive. And it looks. No, this thing looks fantastic. This thing definitely.
It's challenging too. It has its challenging moments, which is another another itch that I've been which by the way I did let go of Chris Tales. I didn't uninstall it.
Uh,
Um because I
you're never
jumped
gonna
onto
go back
this.
though.
Yeah, I jumped onto this and I was like, "Oh, this is good. Maybe I could just go back and finish Chris Tales. It's not can't be that much longer, you know." And I went back and again, it just feel like I was just going through the motions because it was again, not that I'm asking for a challenge, but it looks like it was a fairly simple game. And I just feel like
Yeah,
they just that was a an intentional thing where they wanted to be a love letter to JRPGs,
yeah.
but not with the difficulty. Because let's be real, old school JRPGs were not a walk through the park. You know,
And
you
it
had them
should have.
prepping. Yeah,
It should have been kept that way.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah, yeah.
now listen to me, the new Dark Souls player, just talking about like difficulty.
I know.
Fucking
Welcome to our
bullshit.
world, sir.
No, I'm telling you, no. I'll fix. I just heard myself, and I was like, man, you sound like a total dickhole. No, no. What I really meant was the other day I was reading because you mentioned RPG, then it triggered me. I was reading about the best changes that have happened in RPG in JRPGs, and one of the things they mentioned was the removal of random encounters. And I'm like, dude, random encounters was what made those games. You know, moving around and not knowing if you're gonna suddenly get hit by some bullshit attack. I mean, I realize that is kind of a bullshit way to die, but it was awesome.
Yeah, this Chris Tales does have
Random encounters?
yeah, it does have random encounters.
Oh, well, they must
Yeah,
be easy if you're not really.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The areas because as you know, you have
Mhm.
areas that have random encounters, and you know when you're in an area that does not. It doesn't actually say it. You just kind of know. Okay, this is a city. Nothing's gonna happen to me here unless it's
Mhm.
scripted in some way. But so it does have random encounters. But one thing I didn't like was every JRPG that I can recall would have a random encounter and have this or some sort of transition into the fight.
Transition, yes.
No, it goes to a white screen, which has her running on the bottom right corner, which is basically the loading.
So a loading
Yeah,
screen.
it goes into this quick little white loading screen, and then I'm in a fight. And it could do the same thing going from one area to another. Like if I'm in one area and I
Oh,
exit. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting random battle or if I've just walked into a new area,
yeah,
or something happened.
yeah.
So there's the differentiating factor of when you have those battle transitions where it's like,
Transitions.
okay, I know that's what we're about to do.
Yeah,
It
it's about
doesn't
to go
have that.
down.
Yeah, it doesn't have that. So that's kind of disappointing. And yeah,
Oh,
at no point do I feel like I am in jeopardy of losing, of dying. And
yeah,
it is a
that's
game that
not
you need to
good.
save. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, yeah, if I go like playing for 3 hours and I don't save, those 3 hours are
Just
gone. You know what I mean?
wow.
So it has that, but it's like I'm in no danger of dying. You know, so it's like I'm always ahead, and I'm in like hour 18, and I did finally get an update. It's about 25 hours is the average. So I'm like I'm close to the end at this point, and I'm like I just don't see.
You have abandoned better games
Yeah,
for
yeah.
no
This is
reason.
definitely one of my Chris Tales is definitely one of my biggest disappointments because I've been looking forward to this game now for over
Mm,
a year. Like I've been following it, like, oh yes, a love letter JRPG, got it. I can't wait, because I was
mm,
thinking of because another one you can go back, Child of Light was also very love letterish to RPG, and that was only a 15-hour game. But
yeah.
that game was spectacular. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't challenging either, but it's still, I don't know, something about that one was, well, you know what? The difference was it was done in 15 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not going to be
it,
challenging, then at least don't make it long. You know what I
it,
mean?
it didn't overstay its welcome. Got it. Oh
Correct,
no,
correct.
dude! But this fucking game that you're playing right
And the
now,
Lilies, yes. And the Lilies is
this
really,
looks
really good.
stellar.
This is
This
what
looks stellar.
took me away from Chris Tales, obviously, and I also made me uninstall Dark Souls 3. I didn't need to uninstall Dark Souls 3, but I was just, you know me, that's the action to say, okay, I'm done.
Okay, I'm done.
You
Yes,
know,
it's a
until I
ritual in your
uninstall it,
case.
it still lingers in my mind if I don't uninstall it. But once I uninstall it, I completely forgot. You know, it's just like I said, it wasn't until anyway, this also has a little bit of Hollow Knight in it as well, in the sense that You rest at benches. Sometimes benches.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's chairs or bed or something like that. Very
Would
similar
you
to
say the
that.
difficulty is like that though?
I would say so far, early on, I think that's the biggest complaint is that early on, it feels like, oh, this is not going to be that challenging. Um,
Mm.
but it
Well,
quickly
what's wrong
ramps up.
with that?
No, what I'm saying, it quickly ramps up. And nothing's wrong with that. But I'm just trying to say, I don't.
Fucking elitist.
No. What
No,
I'm trying to say is, it has to be some sort of
elitist.
stakes involved.
Right,
It's
yes.
either that or it might as well be a fucking walking simulator at that point.
Yeah.
But it does. The last boss that I fought, I had to fight a good 4 or 5 times to just kind of get the pattern down. And
How's the progression? How does it feel like you're getting stronger as you?
it
Is
is
there opportunities to
strange.
grind or anything like
You
that?
can
Or
definitely grind because when you
okay.
die, or when you rest at a thing, all the enemies in the area respawn again. So it has that
Mm,
aspect to it as well. Bosses do not; they're gone forever. Um,
mm,
but you can definitely grind because you're consistently. It's like I'm racking up levels. I think Chaos was watching me for a span of 20 minutes, and I had racked up like 3 levels, and I was like, yeah,
mm,
but I don't see too big of a change when it comes to certain things.
right.
You can make your spirits because each of those spirits have a different ability, and you can enhance those abilities, make them stronger. You have to use them items that you find throughout the world. Those are the items you put towards making them stronger, and some are good for certain areas. I had this one big spirit that has a huge massive great hammer, I guess you can say, which was great getting me to a specific area. But once I was dealing with that boss, I was like, this is not he's not the move, because by the
Mm,
time the swing
mm.
comes by, the enemy's not even in the area. I'm like, fuck. So you just kind of have to use some strategy behind that. And but I really dig it, man. It's I can highly recommend this game. I think I've only put probably now maybe 10 to 12 hours maybe so far. Maybe
Mm,
that's a lot. Maybe 8 to 10. Maybe 8 to 10 hours I put into it so far. I don't know how long it is. I haven't looked it up because I have no desire to. Which for me is rare because I tend to want to know. But it is just gorgeous. It's a very beautiful game.
what
And
platform are you playing it on, sir?
I'm playing it on PlayStation 5. But it is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox, Steam, and Switch. So it's pretty much everywhere. No mention of
Cool.
Stadia for any Stadia users out there.
So all 2 of them. I'm surprised because I was looking at the trailer and the trailer just ends with available now on Nintendo Switch and Steam. I was like, is he playing it on Nintendo Switch? Not
No,
that
no,
there's anything wrong
no,
with that,
no, no.
but
Of course,
you
yeah.
don't you haven't touched
I have
your
not. I
Switch.
do want to go back. There's a game now that I'm thinking about that I started, and something just kind of took my attention at some point. But I want to go back to the Switch to do that. But yeah, I haven't had a need to, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Anyway,
Mm.
so that's Ender Lilies. Highly recommend. Probably will be playing that later on tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna put this on my. Well, it's not a backlog if I don't own it, right? So
True.
let's take care of that. No, actually, I'll wait. I'll wait.
I hear
Um,
you. I hear you.
yeah, 'cause
So yeah.
I'm busy.
Yeah, you're in the middle of something.
Oh, you know what?
Uh,
It was fucking Salt and Sanctuary. I was gonna say, man, that has a style that it kind of makes me think of a game that is kind of like that. Also, side scroller, not as fast as this, but Salt and Sanctuary. That the art style, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit
of
in
Ender
a way.
Lilies? Oh, dude, you need to look up Assault and Sanctuary again, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, wait, that's not what I remembered." I can tell you that
Let me
right now.
see.
I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more cartoony. I
Yeah,
mean, it's still grays and medieval. Yeah,
yeah, but
it's
this has some more. Uh,
Oh, it's a newer game.
well, not just that. I'm just saying that I think the art design of Ender Lilies is just it's different. It looks almost completely. I don't know. It looks really good. Not that Sanctuary looks bad. But it was
No,
obvious they went
just the
for a
characters,
simplistic style. Yeah.
just the playable characters themselves.
I
yeah.
fucking hated that look. It's like, man, you nailed everything else. Why do you have to make the character look like a freaking like a comic
slog
strip
or something.
character? It's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are
yeah.
you going
I
for
remember I
here?
started that game as a chef. That was
As
great.
a chef, yes, you
Yeah,
did.
that was so good. I watched a few things, so I just want to quickly go through them. There is one first that I want to start with, and that is something that I want to recommend to you and to the missus if you haven't already even
Oh,
started this. And this is a mini series, so it's only a season. There's no plan to make any other seasons, and I want to say it was 7 episodes long, so not even that long.
oh,
It is on HBO Max. It is called Mayor of Easttown, and this
yeah.
is an excellent tale. It is essentially in essence, a whodunit. Essentially,
Oh,
you know, it's
I like those.
it is. It's not like
No,
uh,
I know. It's not gonna
not
be
comedic in that sense.
fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like Knives Out or anything like that.
No, that's not
Uh,
Knives Out.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it
I
is.
like I like things where it makes like who done it
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, whodunit. Yeah, and so this is that, and it is excellently acted,
Mm.
written. The characters feel like people you may know. You know what I mean? It's just like it's so well done, dude. It's like
What is
these
it about?
It's so you're following the main character who's played by Kate Winslet. She is mayor and she is a sheriff within the town of Easttown, which is in Pennsylvania, which I believe is like it's one of the outskirts of. It's a small town. Everybody knows her.
Mm.
She is. She's like one of those people that growing up she was a hero. Everybody knows her as the one who made the shot at a basketball game, and of course that's come to define her in many ways, even though she doesn't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? But she is. I won't go into detail for some of the things, but I would say the the characters are so woven so well. She is. This is. You can probably see this in the damn trailer, but it's. She is in the midst. She's no longer with her husband, but he lives in the house right in her
Mm.
backyard. You know what I mean? And
Oh, okay.
it's a weird situation. Her mom lives with her. She's kind of on the outs with her mom, and but they're real
Wow.
characters. Just it just feels real. Anyway, so the crux of the story is, there is a murder of a young girl in her town,
Mm.
and it's not just that's going on. That's one thing. Obviously, it's a small town, so obviously they're going to want answers and stuff like that. And obviously they look to her because she's, they don't even call her detective or anything. They call her Mayor because they know her as
Uh,
Mayor. That's
fair
her
enough.
first name, or Marilyn is for short or something like that. And so a year prior to the show, a girl went missing and has never been found, and it still lingers. It's a thing that's lingering right up until the point that girl gets murdered. And now it's like, okay, we still haven't found
And
that last
now,
girl,
yeah.
and now we have a murder of another young girl, and what are we gonna do? And so it's the figuring out as to what happened with that. That's essentially the tale. But in the meantime, she's handling a bunch of stuff with her family, um, that again
Mm.
will hit everybody in some way or another. It's like there is nothing that you're gonna see here you don't in some way or another relate with. And so that's why, bro. That's why I was just like, man, this
Mm.
is a fucking awesome show. And then on top of that, it's not dreadful in the sense that there was this other show which I watched on AMC called The Killing, which also had, it was a small town in Seattle and a murder of a girl and blah, 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 blah. But that shit was dark. It was,
Uh,
it was just, you get to the end of the season, it's just like, it was a great show,
uh,
but there was just no life. It was just felt like there was, and then they're in Seattle, so it's raining all the time. It's like you feel depressed after every episode. You know what I mean? Here, there's life. These characters have humorous moments, even though they may not intend to be humorous.
mm.
And I found myself like literally laughing out loud at some moments, like, "Oh my god!" You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. It's like you can
No.
have all those things, but still be real. You know, the killing just felt like they forgot. In the real world, people do want to forget things sometimes. You know what I mean? And, you know,
Yeah.
they have lives and then all this stuff. And so, yeah, man, highly recommend for you and the missus.
What's it called again?
Mare, Mare, of
Mhm.
Easttown. And it is on HBO Max. It's a series, ain't going nowhere unless you let go of HBO
Okay.
Max. So,
All right.
next one is a movie, a Netflix film called The Midnight Sky, which is I guess technically a sci-fi film. It's in the future. Yeah, I guess
It's in the far future, in the near future,
20,
tomorrow.
40 something, I think, maybe 2048.
Oh, okay.
But this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. It stars George Clooney. It's also, I believe, written and directed. Definitely directed. I don't know if written by George Clooney as well. And basically, it starts off with him. He is the last person at a some station in the Arctic. Everybody has abandoned that station, but he stood behind. And the reason for that is because the world is going to shit. Okay. Literally, the planet is going to shit. And there is so the point is that everybody's leaving the planet and he's staying behind, mostly because he wants to stay behind to get in contact with a spaceship, a human-made spaceship that got sent to a moon of Jupiter to test out life, and they were there for 2 years, and they're on their way back. Problem is, they're coming back to an Earth they can't land on because the Earth is shit now.
Oh,
It's literally
wow.
completely irradiated, except for the poles. But the poles will eventually, it's just kind of slowly working its way up to the poles.
Wow.
And
And what
so
caused the radiation?
they don't say.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they don't
It's
say.
just, hey.
Yeah, that's the same thing. You're gonna ask the same fucking question. Same thing my wife asked me. So, honey, that's not important. The world's gone to shit. It doesn't matter how it got to shit because these people right now that we're watching don't care. You know, it's like they already know why. We're past the why. You know what I mean? So she's like, but why don't they say what it is? Like, honey, who cares? That's not the point.
No, see, I'm with her. I need to know those details. It's like it's almost like they will burn in my head too long before I accept the fact that at some point I will accept the fact. Well, that is the state of affairs in this world. But before that, I'm just gonna be waiting for at some point they have to tell me what the fuck was it that happened that irradiated the world. Did they have a war? Did they mess us? Did somebody spill something? Did not enough people vaccinated?
I think at some point the line literally is, and he's talking to I guess
I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
No. He basically says we didn't take care of the planet while you were away. That's what he tells the folks. Anyway, it's not bad. It's definitely different. It's definitely I enjoyed it, especially visually. I think it was actually a really good looking film. I think George Clooney is pretty good when it comes to making a film and visually. There are some question marks that I'm left with. Not those question marks like that. Like I said, I knew that was not important. Just some other ones you were like, okay, all right. So we're not gonna address that. That's cool. You know what I mean? But and there was one predictable thing where I was not predictable in the sense that I kind of just nailed it. I was like, yeah, I kind of saw that one coming. So, but overall, I think it was pretty cool. Mayor of Easttown, by the way, I can probably give that a good 4.5.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, we need the scores.
Yeah, I forgot that. Mayor of Easttown definitely 4.5. I can almost watch that shit again. Seriously, it's like a long film that just it's worth every twist and turn of these characters and how they intermingle and every little thing is kind of just thought of in advance. So when you have that question, it's like, don't worry, answer's coming. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I'm like, I think you and your wife will love it because it's like you're not gonna have any questions by the end. Everything will be addressed.
Okay, good. That's the main thing that I want from my movies. Give me a definite ending. Definitive ending.
So anyway, that's Midnight Sky. Midnight Sky I would give probably a 3 at most.
Whenever you hesitate that much, it's like I
well,
feel
because I feel like
feel a
2.5 2.5 is 2.5 is what? Is mediocre? Is that what we have it as? Fuck, I always forget. Let me bring it up.
that would be mediocre because 2 will be really mediocre.
Yeah. See, I feel like mediocre is just not what I would call a movie.
We wanted to make 3 the safe spot.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, and I can't say it's really good because it's not. I think it's just good.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it. I'll leave that as that. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you're right. Mediocre is just one of those. Yeah.
3. No, 3.5 would have been where that is. Actually, no. I'm fucking this one up. I'm so sorry, man. 3 is good. 3 is good because it's good. It's good. 2.5 is when we go into mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we said, right?
Yeah, that's what we just said.
Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. Never mind.
You psyched yourself out. I like it.
I psyched myself out exactly suddenly because I was looking at 3. Wait a minute, 3.5 is really good. But it's not really good. This is just good.
Yeah. So exactly.
Right. This rating system is 2.0.
No, I don't think so, sir. I think we just keep forgetting. But I think we nailed it with this system.
Yeah. We did good.
The last movie I just saw last night.
How the fuck do you play so many games and watch so many movies and you have your job? Like, where do you fit the rest of your life? See, that's what happens. That is the benefit of having a perfectly defragged life. You know how you defrag your hard drive to put everything together so that you can, so that it runs smoother and more efficient? That's your life, bro. You defrag your life in a way that should be the name of your next album, by the way. You defrag your life in such a way that you have time to put all of this shit together and still manage to I can't imagine. How come you're not stressful?
Oh, dude, yeah. For me, it's just it's funny because we were just talking about Lethal Weapon earlier, or maybe it was Loaded Weapon, but this is from Lethal Weapon. Anyway, Lethal Weapon 2, of one of my favorite lines from Lethal Weapon 2. Riggs and Murtaugh have been given the assignment to go watch Leo Getz, which is played by what is his name? Danny Glover. No, that's Riggs and Murtaugh. No, the one who played my cousin Vinny. My God.
Fucking. Okay, now I have to.
I cannot believe that
my cousin Vinny's cast. Come on. Who are we talking about?
Joe Pesci. Yeah.
Joe Pesci.
So they get told to go. We need to watch him. He's an important informant. Blah 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 blah. And the captain goes, before they even say anything, goes, "This is not a shit assignment." And they both go, "Captain, it's a shit assignment." They go back and forth. And he goes, "You know what? I don't give a fuck. You know why I don't have an ulcer? Because I know when to say I don't give a fuck." And I think that kind of sums up. Sums up where I'm at. Why I'm not sure. I know when to say.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck anymore. And when you do that, there's just this, weight that's lifted. However, there is a lot of stress involved with time, and that's that's when things get lost, my friend.
Shit.
Yeah,
it's still amazing, sir. I gotta say, But then again, this is coming from someone who's sometimes just. Like I get a paralysis. Like, okay, what do I want to do? And it'll take me 45 minutes to figure out what I really want to do, and by that time, I don't have time to do it.
already wasted it.
Yes. So, like, that would be the anti you in so many ways.
To be fair, we have had plenty of nights where I'm surfing for something to watch, even though I have like 5 lists of stuff, of whatever. But it's like none of them are calling me at that moment. But lately, I've been queuing stuff up. So, and I know when we have something to go, I'm just throwing it on. And last night, for whatever reason, we threw on Suicide Squad.
See, I was hoping you were gonna say we got Pain and Gain. Yes, finally.
No. Although in retrospect, I probably should have gone with Pain and Gain, but no.
Pain and Gain is great, by the way. So
Yeah.
go.
Suicide Squad.
Wait a minute. I heard this movie was good.
So did I. Matter of fact, it sits at a fucking 92 on the Rotten Tomatoes for some fucking reason. Yeah. Oh, by the way, an 88 on the audience score. So this is apparently the consensus.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, this is good. You know? All right.
Overall,
so what happened?
So first of all, I need to kind of gauge this first by saying, if I were to score the first Suicide Squad, which had Will Smith and some of the returning characters here, that would be easily a 1.0 on our series.
Really
without even thinking about it. Really awful.
Bottom of the barrel. Do not watch this shit.
No.
Like, it's
to
not.
date, I stand by that fact.
I mean, this
Do
is the stuff
not
that you
watch.
give Ghostbusters, the 2016 reboot.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
I'm well aware of that, sir.
All right. Well,
So-
I'm extra thankful that I have not. I have not gotten into it.
That was the first one. Here,
Wow.
so the question obviously is, why would I bother watching the second one? Well,
Jesus Christ. I was
first off,
going to say.
they made a second one for some reason, and that's enough of a like.
Let's start with the fact that they made a
actually
second
won
one.
a second one. Yeah, they went with a completely different director and writer, which is James Gunn.
Yeah.
And you would know him from Guardians of the
Guardians
Galaxy,
of the Galaxy,
fame, and not to mention, I think he's also doing part 3. And so anyway, so I was like, okay, well, let's see what we get. We've seen some of the early trailers, and I knew, I was like, ooh, this is not going to be good. And so in the end, it actually was okay. But considering where the first one landed, I'd say it's
This was stellar.
yeah, I know. In comparison, this is stellar to the first one.
I
But
feel like that's actually the consensus of Rotten Tomatoes and the audience and everybody. It's like, well, you gotta, when you compare it to the first movie, I mean, this one is like
this is Oscar
quality.
Yeah, quality shit. Yeah. Overall, though, I will say one thing: they obviously had a bigger budget, and it was on the screen, well used. It was some of the stuff that sounded just dumb, and I was like, how does anybody find that shit funny from the trailer? Still remained in the movie and still was just as bad. However, there was a lot of other moments where I was fucking laughing. I was like, oh shit. Just, it was hysterical. It was still fairly childish. To think that, fucking Superman, the very first Superman, Man of Steel, exists in this same universe is still a bit weird, because these guys are, how do I say, these guys?
These are the Deadpool version of.
Like if Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool was considered canon in the X-Men universe, or heaven forbid the Marvel one.
It's got some. It's definitely not for kids. Not even close for kids. Way less for kids than the first one was. And the first one was not for kids. But there is some seriously violent stuff that happens in this. Not over the top, like gory.
No.
Although some things are a little bit gory. But overall, it's just one of those things where it's like, you just kind of know. If you've seen Deadpool and the crazy goriness from there, then that's kind of what you end up having here. Yeah. That same type of humor, and it's okay. I kind of was okay with it. You
You
know,
can,
it's
you
like
can
okay,
say
this.
you can say it. You can say that you enjoyed it. There's
I
nothing
think
wrong.
so.
We're in
Well,
the
I'm a
same
little
environment.
concerned by saying it. You know, I'm just like, well, I don't want to commit just yet. But I
Listen,
think
they are well-renowned critics on Rotten Tomatoes. They have unanimously agreed
I know,
that
but
this
I'm
is
not
a
just
great
gonna
film.
I'm not just gonna jump on their damn bandwagon. I mean, but I will definitely say this is closer to a 3 than a 2.5. I don't think it was mediocre. I really found some of the stuff funny. Some of the stuff caught me off guard. It took weird paths sometimes, but then you just kind of understand. Well, it's one of those things where it's a Suicide Squad. You know that some characters are powerful and some of them
Mhm,
are not. They're just humans. So it's like, well,
mhm.
how do you make the humans whatever? This is probably the most badass I've ever seen Harley Quinn to date. Okay.
Okay.
She has some a particular moment where I
Mm,
was just like, holy fuck, where has she been? Like,
yeah.
this is what we've been waiting
She had
for.
her own fucking movie and she didn't
Yeah,
pull
and
it
it
off.
wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I did not like that movie either.
No, I did
So
not.
yeah, and so but it was great, and she's still her psychotic self.
Mhm.
Nothing's changed. It's obviously still played by Margot Robbie. You still have Rick Flag returning from the first one. You have a few that return. The one who played oh god, the one who heads it up. I can't remember her name now, but she also's in it. We have Idris Elba now. He's new to the cast, and John
How do
Cena.
John
Yeah,
Cena?
and John Cena is ridiculous, bro. Some of
Well,
the
it's
stuff he
John
does, is
Cena,
just,
of
yeah,
course. I
yeah,
would expect no less. I mean, come
yeah.
on.
He's just I
Is
don't know.
there a movie out there with there probably is, and I don't remember, but John Cena and The Rock put together on one movie? Has that happened already?
Yes, it's actually in the theaters right now. It's called F9.
Oh
Oh,
shit! Wow. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Let's pause this. I'm buying tickets. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, fuck me. That's Fast and the Furious.
it sure is, isn't it?
Oh, god damn it. Never mind. Refund my money. Give me my money back.
I don't think there's any other movie with them together, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. Sometimes you could just have too much of
Yes.
testosterone in a room and all that. You know,
You put
there's a lot
that,
of testosterone in the room in this.
you put
film.
that, you put John Cena, you put frigging The Rock, and then
And then Vin
you
Diesel. Yeah,
you had Vin Diesel throwing the Allspice guy.
I know. Forget it. You can forget it.
Okay.
That'd be- yeah.
This is too manly. I can't take
I
it.
can't take it anymore.
No.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what we have. But no. So again, it's on HBO Max. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. You didn't pay for
yeah, and
the
I already
movie
paid for
theater.
the service, and I got a fairly humorous film
Okay.
that was not absolutely shit like the first. I mean, has it redeemed it? Yes, it has. Does this make it a great film? No. It does not. Does that mean DC is making good films? No. It's just they had a good film. You know, or I should say they had a decent film.
That is a film.
So
yeah.
so yeah. So if you have HBO Max, I think just queue it up at one point. Anybody listening, I'm not strictly speaking to you, sir, but if you feel the need, it is there. It does have, and you can see this in the trailer. It's not a spoiler. It does have a villain that I questioned that the Suicide Squad would be able to handle because this particular villain has like messed with the Justice League. So like I don't know how this is okay. So although I guess the version of it here is a little different. But anyway, it's
Oh.
interesting. It's got its humorous moments.
What
It's
did they
still,
do? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. And I
I
have a
was gonna say
question. then.
it still sticks to the same thing that the first one did, and that the comic book does, and that is that you have a crew. The crew's not always the same. Some people return to do it because they just want to get out of jail, or want something to do, and not everybody comes back. and that's part of the tale, and they still stick to that, and I'm glad that they do, because that's part of it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, now they don't hold back on this to what happened to some of them. You know, it's really like, damn, oh, poor guy. You know what I mean? But overall, I think I don't know. I think it was definitely more surprising to me than I just didn't think it can climb out of the massive shithole it put itself in. And no, credit to James Gunn and to that team. Again, I'm not saying it's a great film, and I'm not even saying it's a good film. I'm still saying it was okay, and it had a good.
Oh, you rated it good.
I am
so.
resisting. I am resisting.
You can tell. He
2.8.
paints you. He paints you. 2.8.
No, we're not going to start with the point. So because we round up, then I guess it's fucking.
There you go.
Yeah.
2.8 is that's
What was your question, sir?
Oh, I was just curious. How do they write out? I guess the character was meant.
Oh, they didn't even address him. I mean,
Not even
the reality.
okay.
Yeah, the reality is either. I'm trying to remember what happened in the movie. I think he gets out at the he does the thing and he gets out, because the whole point is to either shorten your sentence or get a release. So if I remember the first one, I think he just kind of goes back, but he is also Deadshot, so he's still a fucking criminal. You know what I mean? But so I don't. They never even touch base on him. Harley, I think, is obviously, she comes back, and as a couple of people you would recognize from the first one. Amanda Waller, that was the woman who she's the one who heads up. She's the one who comes and injects shit into them to say, all right, if you don't listen or you try to run away, your head's gonna blow up. You know, it's like, oh shit. So yeah, but yeah, that's all I've been doing.
I am the Black Knight.
And we're back, guys, and it is now time for our trailer
of the week.
Love it. That's going to be so not in line.
Nope. That's how we do. We just
I mean,
roll
at this
it.
point, everybody's probably used to that. Oh, this is just the pandemic version of their
Yes,
jingle.
the one where we're not together and we're recording on separate days, and
Yeah.
yes.
At this point, we're just thinking of what you're saying and then stripping it together at some point.
Exactly.
Our trailer of the week, guys, is a little title coming to Netflix and select theaters. Yes. I don't know if you
Ooh.
saw that in the trailer, sir. You may have missed that.
I sure did.
It comes on September 10th, and it is called Kate, and it stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't know. Some of you may know her as Ramona Flowers.
Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yes. And she has been in many other movies.
She has been in many,
It's just,
So
going from movies just after just having watched Gunpowder Milkshake, which is another movie where it's like the protagonist is not necessarily the person that you think is more appropriate for the role, but yet there it is, and they pull it off. This one looked just as interested, and it just makes me think, like, my God, like Netflix is super thirsty for getting they must be like super thirsty for getting a female version of John Wick.
Yeah.
It's like
they're not the only ones though,
looking-
because you have Gunpowder Milkshake. Amazon has Jolt. I don't know if you saw the trailer for that.
No.
That's another female badass protagonist. Which, don't get me wrong, I can get down with some of that shit. You know what I
They're
mean?
awesome. Yeah, of course. Hey.
But yeah, they have. You should check out Jolt, the trailer at some point. But it's been out already for a couple. I think it came out right around the same time Milkshake.
I think you should watch Kill Bill. You know,
the originality, OG, right there. Well, no, I think the OG would be Ellen Ripley from Aliens. I'm just saying.
No, where
Yeah.
we not? That's sci-fi, bro. Come on.
It's still female badassery. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
And,
well, I mean, if we're gonna go
gonna-
to that, then let's see who else female badassery.
Red Sonja. No, I'm just kidding.
Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh my God, no. Anyway, what did you think of the trailer, sir? I mean, well, obviously you're just saying.
I'm down. It's kind of silly, and not silly in the sense that it is a funny trailer. It's just it is trying to be that, to the point where a lot of scenes you could tell. Yep, I saw that in John Wick. Yep, John Wick did that. Oh yeah, and then of course they have like the super cliche lines where it's like, oh god, they're really. Everything has been done on Hollywood already.
Yeah, once you watch, this is why I love indies, for the record, sir. You find some stuff you never see before. Hello.
Yeah, but that's a higher risk. That's a higher risk and reward. That I'm not ready. I'm not sure I'm ready to go that deep. I mean, we had another trailer that was a contender called Yakuza Princess, and that one looked like insane, and I don't mean it like in a good way. I don't mean it in a bad way. It just looked insane in the sense of this is not a movie. I swear I played this video game. Yeah, this
was definitely a 90s video
game. Actually, yeah. The dialogue there. Oh my god, and that was just in the trailer alone. I mean, it was cheesy and terrible, and of course,
which I expected from the name of the title. I was just like, okay, I see where we're going here with this.
My name is, and then it goes Yakuza Princess.
Yeah, it's like, we know no one's calling you that. Stop.
No one's calling you that. Yeah, although after all the lines on this, I don't know.
I mean, it's possible.
I wouldn't put it past
at some
it.
point, the end, they go, there goes our Yakuza Princess. Just spoil the end for you guys.
But thank God, 'cause I don't want to watch that ending.
Yeah.
No, Kate's the one, and there was there was a trailer for Don't Breathe Part 2, which, of course, they were gonna do a second part. And that movie was all right, and I just don't think it needed a sequel.
I agree. Well, I agree with the normal sentiment that some movies are just good when they come out, and it's diminishing returns normally afterwards. I actually didn't include it because I have not seen Don't Breathe, and know nothing about it. And when I saw this trailer, I was like, oh, this seems rather interesting. But now hearing a little bit of the first one, I'm like, oh, so they're just flipping shit on its head. Okay. I see what's going on.
Are they?
Or maybe. Possibly. So yeah, no, Kate, I kind of dug what I saw here, and not for nothing, it costs money to bring movies to the theaters, and Netflix can easily just kind of leave it in their in their service. So they're also taking a chance of bringing it to the theaters. So I think they have a little more faith in it, and I think that's why I'm kind of interested. It does also star Woody Harrelson, so
Oh, you mean Woody Allen?
Sure, yeah. Why not?
I keep wanting to call him Woody Allen.
Do you? Wow. Well, yes, Woody Allen, aka Woody Harrelson.
No, we don't want anything. We don't want anything to do with Woody.
I mean, just saying. No. So anyway, so the from what we saw, she's a female assassin, clearly, and has 24 hours to give vengeance on the murderer before she dies. Apparently, she's been poisoned. I'm just gonna throw a spoiler out here. It was probably Woody Harrelson. I'm just saying. just gonna throw that out there. I feel like that's where the movie's going.
You know what? I feel like this type of movies is this type of damn it. I still wish you would have said it but you're right. You're absolutely right. It is. They make it so blatant and so obvious that that's the direction where they're going. Of course, you know.
Yeah.
If you notice, they didn't show
who the real bad guy was,
They
right?
did.
They can just
They
say
did it.
referring to.
They
Well, I
kept
think
referring
that's-
to somebody. I think they showed him once
I
because
think
he's
that's the-
constantly in hiding,
I
and then they
think.
showed
Well,
just a bunch of other hot yakuza guys.
I'm saying that's misdirection.
True.
I don't think he's the guy. The guy keeps hiding in plain sight. It's Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And you know
mean-
what? He takes a mask out, and he's not Woody Allen. He's Woody Allen.
You know what? That explains it all. I mean, right there is I mean,
That's
a
your movie
genius
right
film.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Movie
we're
of the
already
year.
spoiled it, so you don't have to watch it then.
Yeah. So that, guys, is Kate that you don't have to watch, but it comes out on September 10th. And if you're curious
Watch
to
the
know if we're
Yakuza
wrong,
Princess instead.
there you go. If you're curious to know we're wrong, by all means, tune in. Our next segment, guys, real quick, I just wanted to bring this up. This is a game on our mouthful radar, and it's another. Well, I don't want to say it, but it's another side-scrolling action RPG. It is called Grime. Just came out now this week. It was on PC and Stadia. So it's just PC only. It looks pretty cool. Basically, the tagline is destroy, absorb, and grow. An unforgiving action adventure RPG in which you crush your foes with living weapons that mutate form and function. Side scroller again, has that what is that other one? It has that what you would consider to be Souls-ish, side scrolling Souls-ish look to it.
Yeah.
I kind of dig the art style to an extent. You're the main protagonist, it looks to be made of rock, and then where his head would be is a glowing orb. So I'm not entirely sure what the fuck is going on, but it looks
That's very
pretty cool.
abstract.
Yeah, it is kind of abstract, unfortunately. But it looks kind of cool, and it is getting positive reviews. I think right now it's not overwhelmingly, but whatever the next one down will be on Steam is where it's at. What's the
Very
number?
positive.
Very positive.
Yeah,
So it's
very
getting
positive, yeah.
very positive reviews on Steam at the moment. I'm curious on it, and again, I don't like letting some of these games that I feel that should have some light on it pass us by. So if I can get anyone to jump on something, then that's the point of the Mouthful's radar.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to shed some light. A game that that game is called Grime, from the team called Clover Bite. And all right, so that moves us on into
I know, man. That's a lot of good reasons to be considering that Steam Deck, huh? Maybe will you put in your $5?
No, I don't think so. Sorry, I'm not a handheld person, and if I'm gonna just plug it in, I'd rather just have a PC. I mean, at that point, I'm just,
Okay, so you heard it here first. Mad Dog wants a PC. All right, let's talk budget. All right, you picked the worst time ever to want.
I know. Now I need to double the budget that you normally would need. Dear Lord.
I got you, bro. I got you.
I appreciate it. All right, guys, moving on to the useless news that you can use.
Making honor to the name because they're kind of useless this week.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on. Actually, so much so I don't even really know where to start.
All right, I can take it if you want.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. But by all
All
means,
right.
because I don't know where. There's a
Well-
lot of tidbits here, but go ahead.
Let's start with a positive here. This is good news. And before you jump in and steal it from me, PlayStation 5 is no longer selling at a loss, according to Sony's latest financial. Sony has released its financial results for the quarter of the current fiscal year, noting an increase of PS5 shipments and the fact that the console is no longer selling at a loss. According to the figures, where there were 2.3 million PS5 units shipped during April 1st to June 30th period. The PS5 has sold 10.1 million units worldwide. That is a crazy number, by the way, sir.
Yeah,
And it feels like it was, it's not even been a year.
Mm-hmm.
And, all the shortages and all that, which is up a bit compared to the 10 million sold as of July 18. This figure is also up compared to the 7.8 million units total sold during the company's fourth quarter fiscal year 2020. During a call to investors this morning, Sony's chief financial officer, Hiroki Totoki,
stated that the PS5's 499 was no longer selling at a loss, and also stated that the digital version of the console, the $399, will soon no longer be at a loss due to additional hardware sales, including the PS4 and peripherals. Previously reported, Todoki also stated in a call that the company has secured enough chips to meet the sales target for the PS5 after months of semiconductor shortages. Sony's sales target for the end of the fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2022, is 14.8 million PS5 consoles sold. I could definitely see that exceeding that easily if I was a betting man. PS4 shipments reached 500,000 units, which is down 1.4 million compared to 1.9 million shipped the prior year. Well, I'm not going to read all the rest of the financials. I just wanted to, point out the fact that it feels like very early in the stage that the most expensive of the two consoles, not only to manufacture, but also to obviously to buy. It is no longer selling at a loss, and some people might wonder, well, how is it possible that the most expensive one is no longer selling at a loss, but the cheaper one, it kind of still is a little bit. And you have to consider the fact that adding a drive to these consoles is not that much of a cost, of a manufacturing cost, but because it is a big feature, Sony can price it up accordingly to be able to differentiate itself from the digital version. So the digital version, I will say, is the streamlined. This is as much power as we can give for this price. And then the 499 is like, well, let's add this disk drive that is probably costing us 10, I'm just speculating here, but let's say $10, $15 maybe, if that. But we're gonna actually get padded up to $100 more, because it makes sense. It won't make sense for them to sell it at $20 more or $50 more than the digital version, because at that point you just, hey, I might as well, if it's only $50 different, I might as well jump with this version. So that's why. And still an amazing feat, all things considered. Of course, it helped, the fact that everybody was inside, everybody was looking for inside entertainment. Consoles, obviously, we don't have to talk about, how well Sony demonstrated they could bring up their titles on PS4. PS4 was phenomenal. So riding that success, the fact that a lot of people were looking for more inside entertainment because of the pandemic, and it almost became a perfect storm, in a good way and in a bad way. In a good way, in the sense that, well, there's a lot more demand now. Bad way is that, well, we can't make this fast enough to meet that demand that we're having. And by the way, on top of that, we have a chip shortage that we have to deal with.
That we still have to deal with,
yeah.
Agreed, sir. Agreed. My next piece here, this little company. It's a little indie title company that releases maybe 1 or 2 games a year, not too much. EA, maybe you've heard of them.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like EA then, if
right?
If they're that small.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're a well-known 1 to 2 game a year company. Yeah.
I think they're
EA,
still called Electronic Arts Entertainment, or
I think
Electronic.
they dropped that moniker now. Yeah. It's
Okay.
shit. Nobody knows them as you say Electronic Arts now to the kids, and they were like, "What is that? We don't want to do arts and craft." No.
Arts and craft.
EA is continuing to move toward a larger live service-based game strategy, as full game sales dropped 19% compared to the previous year. According to the company's latest financial report to the investors on this past Wednesday, EA reported a revenue of $1.55 billion in Q1 of what the fuck, FY22. I don't know what that is.
Fiscal
Fiscal
year
year
2020.
22. Yeah. Up 6.3 from last year. Net income for a year, however, dropped to 204 million compared to the 365 of the previous year. Despite the drop in in-game sales, EA's live service revenue is offsetting the loss up to 13%. EA attributes its growth to various live service aspects of most of its popular games, including FIFA Ultimate Team, Apex Legend, mobile games, of course, and other franchises. EA said that more than 31 million people have played FIFA 2021 on console and PC since launch.
And we haven't met a single one.
Not a one. FIFA's let's just say we live in a bubble.
Yes.
There are bigger bubbles out there. Meanwhile, FIFA's Ultimate Team mode matches have grown 48% year over year. Apex Legend also set new record for concurrent players with the launch of Season 9 and average 13 million weekly active players. It's easy to see why EA is continuing its shift toward more live service focused games like FIFA and Apex. Publisher is hoping to expand its sports game offerings to a target audience of more than 500 million players in the next 5 years. That is very ballsy because they're not the only one in that market. That would effectively double EA's sports audience from what the studio says is a current audience of about 230 million. While live services continue to grow, companies like Ubisoft lean toward developing more ongoing games. EA does still have some single-player games in the works. BioWare is working on the next Dragon Age. And EA, of course, announced the recent Dead Space remake. So it's clear to me, I'm just adding this at the end. It's clear to me that it's going to be few and far between the single-player offerings from EA. And I'm all right with that.
It feels like it just feels like, well, of course, it's business as usual for them.
I'm all right with them just releasing one, maybe two major single player games throughout the year, as long as they're well developed and they lean the fuck off of it. Yeah. Go focus on your live service shit that I'm never gonna fucking play anyway. And go get your 500 million players. But yeah, if that 500 million players can bankroll the occasional Dead Space, or okay, I'm all right with that.
Or whatever just don't project introduce that bullshit. Is working.
Yeah, just don't introduce that bullshit Microsoft.
Sorry, bullshit Microsoft.
I'm sorry, that bullshit microtransaction. sorry, Freudian slip here. Microtransactions into stuff that doesn't need it. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So far, they have been like really resistant, but I feel like they're feeling the burn of it, and
I think that proves it. So who knows? Yeah. Dead Space may, even though they've already said it's not going to have anything, because you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if they so far have they? Okay. So question: have they broken that? And I feel like if they would have, they would have been a big
since they've announced something and said that it's not going to have it. They have not. That's true.
Okay, they know better. I mean, they're still the ones that did Battlefront 2. Oh,
true.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean. I mean, if they see another year, because I mean, again, net revenue is actually down. If they see another year of that, I don't know.
That's why they focus on their bullshit gas games, and then they leave.
We never play an EA game again. I hear you. That sounds like a plan.
No, because I want to play Dead Space, and I want to play whatever Respawn does, because Respawn
is all Apex Legend right now. Okay, just let it go.
No, they're not. They're working on Star Wars, and they're working on another project. I'll have you know. So they are busy. Their quite is not all Apex Legend. I'll have you know. Speaking of, there's no segue for this one. Speaking of games, no, what the fuck else are we talking about? Criticizing food. So there's a report that came out that say that Sony is going to delay Horizon Forbidden West into early 2022. No surprises there, honestly. and they should take all the time they need to. Another major video game release slides into next year. Those wanting to take up on Alloy.
Aloy.
Bo Aloy. Fuck
It
you
is.
for
It
your
is actually
stupid
Alloy,
spelling.
but her name was Aloy.
Yeah, her name was Aloy. That's why I'm reading it. It's like, did they misspell that? I thought her name was Aloy. Those wanted to take Master Chief's Bo in the much anticipated sequel Horizon Zero Dawn. See what you made me do? There you
Master
go.
Chiefs, okay. Mhm.
Will apparently have to wait a bit longer. Horizon Forbidden West, the upcoming follow-up to the popular open world adventure from Guerrilla Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment, has reportedly been delayed to the first quarter of 2022. The delay was first reported by Bloomberg News after video game reporter Jeff Grubb discussed the rumor on a Giant Bomb podcast. The game was previously scheduled to come to PS5 and PlayStation 4 for the 2021 holiday season. And I still, this is me talking, by the way, I'm still thinking that the reasons to the delay is to hone in on that PS4 version. Yeah, and to undo whatever was the exclusive things that the PS5 could do. That no, actually, we're gonna have to modify them because we need to bring this game to parity with PS4, and that worries me. The delay doesn't come up as a huge surprise. The article continues. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the production timelines for many video games. The God of War sequel, which is also being published by Sony, had its release date pushed back to 2022. This past June, in an interview with the official PlayStation podcast, Herman Holst, thank you, head of PlayStation Studios, said the Horizon Forbidden West team may or may not hit the planned timeframe. Developer Guerrilla Games showed off 14-minute gameplay. You guys remember that? Of the game as part of a state of play event in May, and it looks stunning. The new footage showed Master Chief encountering a tribe of raiders who had captured her friend Eren, Orange, for whatever.
At this point. Yeah.
The gameplay also showed the hunter riding one of the mechanized beasts of her world to fight off another machine like Behemoth. So yeah, I guess the writing was on the wall for this one, right? We kind of knew, this looks amazing, and we wanted to believe because we saw that trailer and everything looked amazing. Everything looked like, oh yeah, this is on par. This is coming out this year, And then they started talking about PS4 versions and whatnot, and we started going concerned. And now all these delays and stuff made me think that they're gonna say it's the pandemic, but it's probably a PS4.
Yeah, that's most likely what it is. I believe the same thing.
Yeah, this is all speculating. That
I still agree with you.
Yeah,
that they're backwards upgrading. I don't know what the fuck to call it.
That we call that. It has a word. It's called retrofitting, sir.
I'm gonna go with degrading. Okay, so my next piece, guys. In essence, with all these major companies getting absorbed and making bigger games, this is the type of news I love. 7 indie game publishers responsible for the likes of Call of Sea, Paradise Killer, and The Lake have teamed up as a collective called the Indie Houses and will broadcast a game showcase on August 31st. The Indie Houses are made up of Acapulco Games, which is responsible for the aforementioned Grime game that I mentioned earlier, Fellow Traveler, which is a maker of Neo Cab, which I played, Neon Doctrine, which is the makers of Vigil, The Longest Night, which is the game that I said I wanted to go back to play on the Switch. Raw Fury, which I'm sure you've seen him that name everywhere. It's actually responsible for a game coming up to Xbox as an exclusive called Sable. Those awesome guys, Tojay Productions and Whitehorn Games. those games that they've made, you probably haven't heard of, so I'm not going to bother mentioning. The collective aims to promote an environment that is centered around the sharing of knowledge between publishers rather than cutthroat competition, and sees a group sharing information and expertise to help elevate the group as a whole. Its first public event will be the Indie Houses Direct, of course, good name. A game showcase being broadcast on Steam, Twitch, and YouTube on August 31st. I, for one, will be there to watch it in full.
Yeah, yeah, buddy.
Because I love me some indies. It's weird because I feel like the same thing applies to the films. It's like, yeah, there's a lot here. It's a little bit different, right? Because I mean, films are films, no matter what, right? If it
Right.
comes, it's going to be the same price rented, no matter what, or at least equivalent. I think no more than $6, but no less than $4. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever. I can take chances. Games, on the other hand, I don't always take chances because $15, $20, $25 here and there. That's a big buy-in,
Yeah.
or a larger buy-in, I should say. So I'm a little bit more cautious when it comes to investing in those, but still, when I find those good ones, I mean, look at Elder Lilies is a perfect example. It's like, who heard of this game? Who even knew this game was coming? You know what I mean? It's like, and it's out, and I'm just like, this is awesome. Even the I have followed a few indie game channels on YouTube, and even they have yet to mention it. They're probably mentioning it now in the next few weeks, so they're probably just coming into it.
Kind of like a surprise.
Yeah, because
This game turns
that's
out
how
awesome.
indie games are sometimes. They don't go to PAX, they don't go to these little places, and so it's like, hey, we just released it and it got published, or whatever, we published it and it's out, and that's why I want to shine light on them. It's like, man, no, people need to know, you know what I mean? Because it'll get lost in the shuffle. And I think right now, with the way the landscape is and all these delays, and it's like, it's the time for these to shine. I have a feeling that by year's end, we're going to have so many indie titles in the talks of game of the years with a lot of the media, and even within ourselves, because of the fact that it's just, hey, there really wasn't that AAA sphere. Unfortunately, took the year off almost, because I mean, for whatever reason, it's most likely pandemic related and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
the launch games are out already, so
yeah, exactly.
This is the lull. Yeah,
and so yeah,
dude, 2022 is stacked as fuck.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's ridiculous at this point. It's ridiculous, but so yeah. Go ahead, sir. Next piece.
All right. So. My next piece, Diablo Immortal has been delayed to 2022. We keep talking about delays. Diablo Immortal, if you guys don't remember, Blizzard's mobile take on the iconic RPG franchise has been delayed until 2022. According to the company's latest financial, Diablo Immortal...
Oh, shit.
The hell?
Uh-oh. Our submarine is being attacked.
No, actually, that's my who gives a fuck alarm. Sorry, I need to. Yeah, my bad.
That's
sorry.
Awesome. Wait, who gives a fuck alarm?
We're moving on. I gotta find another piece of news now. Okay. Okay. How about this one? Blizzard Entertainment president Jay Allen Brack steps down. Brack's departure follows I don't know if you guys have heard it, a California lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. Jane Outlet Brack, the head of Blizzard Entertainment, has stepped down from its position as president, the company announced on Tuesday. Activision Blizzard told staff Tuesday morning that Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra will co-lead the company. Activision Blizzard employees walked out of work last week to protest leadership response to a lawsuit that alleged constant sexual harassment and sexism in the company. O'Neill previously acted as executive vice president of development, while Ibarra led the platform and technology at the company. O'Neill also previously led Vicarious Visions, which Blizzard acquired back in January. Ibarra was previously at Microsoft, serving as corporate vice president of Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass. He joined Blizzard in 2019. That's right. I knew that name sounded familiar. There's a statement. Quote says, both leaders are deeply committed to all our employees, to the work ahead to ensure Blizzard is the safest, most welcoming workplace possible for women and people of any gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or background, to uphold and reinforce our values and to rebuild your trust. It almost set off my alarm again. A Blizzard spokesperson said in a statement, with their many years of industry experience and deep commitment to integrity, inclusivity, Jen and Mike will lead Blizzard with care, compassion, and dedication to excellence. And then it says, you'll hear more from Jen and Mike soon, end quote. Brack issued a statement published on the Blizzard website. I am confident that Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra will provide the leadership Blizzard need to realize its full potential and will accelerate the pace of change. I anticipate they will do so with passion and enthusiasm, and that they can be trusted to lead with the highest level of integrity and commitment to the components of our culture that make Blizzard so special. End quote. Brack's departure from the studio comes no long after his parent company, Activision Blizzard, was sued by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing for creating a, quote, frat boy culture, end quote, that allowed gender-based discrimination and sexual harassment to proliferate. The lawsuit alleges Bragg knew about the behaviors because he had received complaints directly and that he did little to stop it beyond the disciplinary actions that had amounted to a slap on the wrist, end quote. A 15-year Blizzard veteran, Bragg has been the company president since October of 2018, when the then president and CEO, Mike Morhaime, decided to step down. You guys remember in 2018, Mike Morhaime stepped down after like years of leading that company. This guy, Bragg, took over the reins, and now kind of odd timing. He steps down. Yeah. To say the least. Let's say it's odd timing. Prior to his ascension to studio head, Bragg served for many years as leader of the World of Warcraft development team. Morhaime, who co-founded Blizzard in 1991, described Bragg at the time of his promotion as a, quote, an inspiring leader who has shown unwavering commitment to Blizzard's community, end quote. Immediately following the lawsuit, Activision Blizzard made an official statement in which it said the lawsuit included distorted and in many cases false description of Blizzard's past, end quote. That came out very well.
Yeah.
Internally, various executives published statement. Bragg, in one of those letters, called the allegation extremely troubling. Activision Blizzard's executive and former George W. Bush Homeland Security Advisor Frances Townsend called the lawsuit, quote, truly meritless and irresponsible, end quote, in a statement that since then has been criticized by current and former staff. You think? Mm-hmm. Thousands of Activision employees signed a letter asking for Townsend to step down as the executive sponsor of the Women's Network. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. Following the letter, Activision Blizzard's employees in California and elsewhere walked out in protest of leadership response. Townsend later tweeted about, quote, the problem with whistleblowing, end quote, a story published in The Atlantic in July. The curious timing for the tweet immediately following a major whistleblowing at Activision Blizzard did not sit well with current and former employees who responded in turn with criticism. Jesus Christ, I think the wrong person actually stepped down here.
I think so too. Yeah.
Townsend reportedly began blocking current employees speaking out against her. Well, there you go. Activision Blizzard executive and former George W. Bush Homeland Security Advisor Francis Townsend. I mean, what is there more to say? Is you probably should blame her for the delay of Diablo Immortal.
I mean, yeah, I think you just blame the entire company at this point. Sir, did you ever get a chance to listen to what I had sent you?
I did actually. Yeah, and you know what? No, I need to listen to it again because I was actually doing the majigger, the lawn.
Mhm.
And of course, around that time, the moment that my neighbor hears me out, he comes out, and then I miss a lot of it because, of course, we start talking and
Okay. Well, it's good stuff, and it does. First off, it does in no way try to defend
or justify
any of this stuff. It's just it paints the accurate legal picture of what can possibly come out of this. It was so far I know it was almost a 3-year investigation, and when they're investigating for 3 years and they come out with a statement like this, like, yeah, they got something. You know what I mean? I like what. So this is another podcast that I was sharing with Dream Twister, and it was basically I like how legal wise how this what they can do. I think the main thing the attorney was saying is like Activision wants to avoid at all costs discovery, which is something that at some point they can subpoena all emails and all this stuff, and God knows how much information comes out of that. There's been shit that has been, there has been other companies who have gone through lawsuits. Apple, believe it or not, and then something happened with some information with Sony and Apple came out, or something weird at that point. It's just like, whoa, that was odd, but that's how discovery works because it becomes part of that, and Activision Blizzard most likely wants to avoid that, and so
they
most
definitely
likely
don't want to be subpoenaing that.
Oh, for sure. So this was definitely, well, not definitely, but that's another thing he said. It's like wouldn't be the first time that some crazy ass CEO decides to just say, "Nope, we're gonna fight this to the end." You know what I mean? It's like, whoa. But most likely, it will just settle out of court. But it's interesting. I'm curious to see what the final thing is. And there was actually a follow up podcast to that, which included this information here with the woman. I can't remember her name. You just mentioned her.
Townsend.
Oh,
I'm sorry. You're talking about. Hold on. Let's address her properly.
Yeah.
You're talking about Activision Blizzard's executive and former George W. Bush Homeland Security Advisor Francis Townsend.
That'd be her. There's also some stuff to be said. It's like, well, and I like how fair he keeps like, well, one really has none of the fact that they keep bringing that up is like, technically one has nothing to do with the other. You know what I mean? But one doesn't inform the other. You know what I mean? It just that keeps to bring it up, and obviously you bring it up because you kind of want certain people on your side when you're creating a story. You know what I mean? And let's be real, gaming media tends to be very leftist. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not paint her already bad by making her right, alt-right? You know what I mean? So I love the again, there's no in any way defense of any kind. It's just saying, just understand this is why media chose to say, oh, she was part of the Bush administration. Oh, so the guys who were too stupid to figure out 9/11. Oh, all that shit is, and it was like, how does that in any way translate to what's going on over here? It's like,
no.
I mean,
I think it's that part is just like, it's just coloring, right, for the purpose of making it sensational. Sensational, exactly. In reality, it's more the fact that you don't tweet about the problem with whistleblowing in the middle of a shit show that is happening at the company, which happens at like it's the most tone deafness that I think even fucking Bobby Kotick at the end, he had to be like, yeah, that was kind of tone deaf.
I'm gonna need you to step down right now. Thank you. Actually, there was a letter from Bobby Kotick, which is, I want to say it's public, it's out there. It it does address some stuff because the company took a major hit. By the way, I don't even know that because it is
Mhm.
a publicly traded company. Take a major hit. Obviously, is no way of not knowing that that was coming.
Mm.
Um, and CEO Bobby Kotick, which by the way, did you know he's been CEO for 40 years? That's crazy.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point, he's freaking
He's freaking God.
dictatorship,
Yeah,
and
he's God on the lips of Activision
I
employees.
mean,
Yeah.
he's fucking ruthless, and the way he runs the company, I mean, it works, right? It's giving him. I mean, he
Apparently, he
acquired
saved the
Blizzard.
company. Like the company was in dire straits before he became
Yes, yeah, yeah. For
CEO.
all the shit that we like to that we like to, because he is capable of a lot of like the shit that has come up on gaming.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
As far as microtransactions and bullshit like that.
Mhm.
There's no denying. I mean, he did pretty much save the company. He made some financially sound moves
Mhm.
to where, I mean, look at it now. I mean, they wouldn't be where they at if it wasn't for. And yes, they know we criticize them for milking the shit out of franchises and up to kill, but so far it works.
So far,
People still buying Call of Duty.
yeah,
People are
and
still
they
playing
are
World of Warcraft.
every
You
year.
know, yeah.
And not for nothing, those games are not bad. You know, like they're shit
No,
made. They're
no.
actually extremely well developed. So
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. There's technology in there. There is I mean, they're made to sell. They have a formula right now. They have figured it out. And at the end of the day, you can talk all the shit you want about Bobby Carter being the devil, but I mean, he's still a smart motherfucker, you know.
Yeah. There's a reason why he's up where he's at.
Yeah, for there, and nobody wants to change him. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say is that he released a letter and it sort of
he's stepping down. No, I'm
the
kidding.
no, no, but it did sue the apparently appeared to sue the investors and they were able to recoup some of what was lost there from what was going on. So
What I mean, sue them, like
soothe as in okay, so we're okay with investing in Activision again. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Soothe
gotcha.
their
All right.
concerns essentially. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So my last piece, guys, is developer Sucker Punch Productions has announced that Ghost of Tsushima Legends, the co-op expansion for the single-player game Ghost of Tsushima, will be released as a standalone game. In addition, Legends will also get a new mode later this year called Rivals. Announced on PlayStation Blog, Ghost of Tsushima Legends will be made available as a standalone game priced at $19.99 US dollars, 19.99 euros, and you know what? You figure this shit out. PlayStation on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. We're talking mostly here in America, so $19.99, guys. $15.99 if you're somewhere else. I don't know. So far, a specific release date has not been mentioned. This standalone version will be exactly the same as the Legends mode that is available for owners of Ghost of Tsushima, the main game, albeit missing some cosmetics unlocked in the campaign. It will contain all Legends content and will be released, which was released in 2020, as well as upcoming editions. That new content includes Rivals, a brand new mode arriving on September 3rd. In this mode, two teams of two compete to defeat waves of enemy. Defeat enemies, drop Magatama, and we're gonna skip this because I don't care really about that. But Rivals will also bring with it a set of new trophies and cosmetics. Joining Rivals, a new gear mastery system which expands on the Legends' current progression system. Players who have earned gear at level 110 can now bind it to a class and activate mastery challenges. So it looks like they're really, this is me talking, looks like they're really going all in on this mode.
Multiplayer.
On this multiplayer mode that was, or co-op really is what it is. I guess multiplayer at the same point. It really looks like they're just kind of going all in on this because it's so well received. And I think credit to Sucker Punch, they didn't half-ass it, right? Because it was half-assed, then nobody would give a shit. But the reality is, they said, "Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this shit right." You know what I mean? And so far, not so much so that they're releasing it as a standalone. Before these two major additions, an update will be made available on August 20th that provides changes based on community feedback. This includes rebalanced survival mode with shorter lengths and new weekly survival nightmare challenge variants. Beyond this, Sucker Punch promises new content each week from September 10th through the October 1st, including a new Rivals map, 2 new survival maps, and a new harder version of last year's raid called Trials of Io, which is divided into bite-sized chunks. As before, if you currently own Ghost of Tsushima, then Legends is free of charge, and none of this additional content requires purchasing. If you buy the standalone Legends game and decide you want to play the campaign, you can upgrade to Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut for $40 US, 50 euros, 44 pounds on PlayStation 4, or $50, 60 euros, 54 pounds on PlayStation 5. That sounds pretty good. I went into to Legends mode. I really just did like it's sort of a lengthy, maybe 20-25 minutes of a tutorial, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And then I guess I needed to do something before I can join anybody, but I'd like to give it a shot, because it sounds, I don't know, sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. I know it was a bit much when it came to what it had available and for yourself, but overall I think it was a great. And I think the addition to this mode, which again nobody asked for, nobody was expecting it, and it's not like they're not doing single player content, because they are. It's coming in the the new update and all that stuff.
The DLC.
Yeah, and
or the standalone. I think it's a standalone actually.
Is
an
it
expansion? I think
it's an expansion. I don't think it's a standalone.
Okay.
I think you need to have Ghost of Tsushima in order to get the.
I mean, it makes sense if it's within the story.
Yeah, because the thing, it's like the 4th island that you can play, and I think you have to access it before the end. Otherwise, you just get to the end. So,
goody, another area to explore in Ghost of Tsushima. Woo!
You fucking used fast travel. I'm just saying. At some point, I was like fast traveling everywhere. I was like, okay, I'm good. I've cleared all that area. There is a lot of.
I use fast travel. I just wanted to do everything to see if that could be platinum, but no. Then it introduced some bullshit that was like.
Did you ever platinum? Did you ever actually?
No, I didn't, because I did everything, but apparently that's not enough.
Doing everything is not enough.
I literally did everything that it showed me that I should do. All the map, I leveled up. I have everything maxed. I was ready to platinum. It didn't give me the platinum because evidently, I don't know. I didn't bow in respect to someone. I guess some tool or some shit like that. I hate when games and I have and I'm trying to coin the new term, and that is the Castlevania Simon's Quest bullshit of being completely abstract on what the game wants you to do. I hate that. And it's hiding gamer score or trophies or whatever you want to call them. Achievements, actually, I believe is the term.
Yeah,
hiding achievements before like abstract bullshit like that. That is like, oh, unless somebody literally tells you, or you read it or you watch it on YouTube, you will never know that actually exists. It's some level of bullshit,
I remember I was by the time I got to the end, I was literally at 90-something%, maybe 91, 92. So that's that's really the only reason. I was like, oh my God, I'm there. Let me just fucking search whatever it is. Now, those items that I searched up, yes, I was just like, if I had not searched these, I probably would not.
There's no way, exactly.
But at the same time, it was like, I still did 91% of it in the main game. So I'm like, okay, I get it. There should be some extra. There should be some exploratory items. And stuff and trials, like the fucking flute is like, oh, so you got to be standing in a certain spot.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I needed to do the legends in order to give me something. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do the legends. Well, it's cool though. It's cool.
Fair enough.
What's not cool? What is not cool is
school.
It's cool. Yeah, no. Cool. School is cool. Stay at school. But don't play your Google Stadia, please. Stadia's future includes running the backend of other streaming platform, a job listing reveals.
Oh my god.
After closing its in-house Stadia games and entertainment studios early this year, many have wondered what the future of Google's game streaming ambition will look like. Apparently, it will indeed include Stadia becoming a backend to other streaming platforms as a white label option.
Wow.
So backtracking for a moment, what would this mean for Stadia? A white label product in this context essentially means that one company will license the tools and product to another company that in turn can sell it under its own name. As a theoretical example, Google could work with Public Supermarket. I'm going to use the example of Public Supermarket
Okay.
to provide a white label version of Stadia that Publix could then sell to its customer at a Publix branded cloud gaming offering. It says
my
Ubisoft
God.
actually, but
Yeah,
I wanted to drive the point home. So because it can be anything. I mean, at that point, whoever pays for the license.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And then a job listing on LinkedIn. Sorry, let me pull it up. A job listing from LinkedIn spotted by Cloudy Game seems to confirm that this is at least what Google wants.
Oh, boy.
God damn it. Okay. Fine. That's fine. All right. I won't talk about Stadia then. Okay, we're done with the news then, I guess.
I love that. I love that fucking horn, man. That shit is too cool for school. All right, so I'm gonna just quickly fire off some crazy shit here. Cobra Kai season 4 premiere on Netflix in December.
No. I shut it up. I snoozed it. I want to know about Cobra Kai. Talk to me about Cobra Kai.
That was it. Like I said, this is a quick hit. Yeah, Cobra Kai season 4 is to premiere on Netflix in December. I still need to get through season 3. I was actually enjoying the shit out of that. Evil Dead, the game, has been delayed to February 2022.
Another one we're missing.
Another one. I don't think anybody was missing it, but and finally, Jason Momoa has said that he wants to see a 6-hour version of Denis Villeneuve's Dune, stating that he'd like to see a TV series cut that presents Denis' whole vision. Talking to New York Times, Momoa, who plays Duncan Idaho in Dune, said, "It's a cool movie. You know what they need to do, though? They need to make it a 4 to 6 hour version of the first half. It's like, let's, Jesus, let's watch the 4 to 5 hour movie like a TV show. I can also, I can choose when I want to watch the whole thing. I want to see Denis' whole vision. I don't want it to be trimmed at all. This movie, which covers the first half of the original novel storyline, which technically I think the first one did as well, has a theatrical runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes. Momoa, pretty clear in his interview, over 2 hours isn't enough. He'd like to see a much longer version containing all the ideas. And he wants to dub it the Villeneuve cut.
Of course, yes.
Why the fuck not? All I have to say to that is, I actually, Denis Villeneuve is probably one of my current new favorites when it comes to directors. He did the movie that we've talked about, The Arrival or Arrival. He's done Arrival. He did Blade Runner 2049. He's done some really, really special. He did what's the movie with oh my god, dude, it's killing me, man. It's freaking age sucks. No, it's oh my god, it's the one with it's called Oh dear Lord! Hold
Pull
on.
it
This is
out,
killing
pull
me,
it out,
bro.
because I won't be able. This is the part where I don't know about
I know.
directors. I
I'm not
don't
even
know.
gonna be even Sicario, fucking Sicario. He did
Sicario.
the first
There we go. The
Sicario.
first one. Yes,
He
the
did
good one.
Prisoners, Enemy. He has some of. I know you don't know those, but he has some. But just think of Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, and Sicario.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fantastic.
that's enough to
That's
say, hey, you should probably watch Prisoners or
mhm,
Enemy. You know, because it's like
mhm.
if you like these, you already know what you're getting into with these
Yeah.
other ones. You know, and they're all over the place, right? Arrivals is a space sci-fi, whatever. Blade
Drama.
Runner is a freaking cyberpunk movie. Sicario is a fucking god. It's a intellectual fucking FBI and slash whatever the hell they were. You know, it's just like drug cartel movie. You know, so you just don't know what you get with him. And now he's doing Dune. You know, and I'm just like, man, he can probably deliver. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I know who's involved, and Warner Brothers
Yeah.
is one of those fucking companies that puts their hands all in shit. Right now, I think there's already backlash from him and from many others the fact that Dune's going to be available on HBO Max. And I
Oh,
know
yeah,
that
that's
they are already up in arms for that shit.
yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, sir, that's my last piece. You have anything else?
No, because I'm afraid of this alarm, and there's really not much.
Okay. Yes. No more alarm. We're gonna we're gonna stop here. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Hot topic.
And we are back.
Ow, my ears! I'm supposed to be the one yelling, you know.
I know, but
I'm the
sometimes I feel
yeller.
left out, and
I'm the old yeller.
I don't. No, you're not, sir, because we're not about to put you down.
What
So-
is- that's my gamer tag. Old yeller.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord. On Stadia, right? I hear you,
Oh,
because
stop.
that's about to be put down. But anyway,
Aw,
we're
Stadia.
back, guys, and it is now time for the hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Hot topic, guys, as I mentioned before, it is backlog season. So here's how we have broken it down, guys. There
Mhm.
are 3 games on our list, or 3 contestants, if you will, that will hopefully be met sometime during this backlog season and completed and gone back to. And these are the top 3 that we want to, right? Things happen, any game may come out, or some flash release may come out, and suddenly we're not going to be able to play it. But the intention is we want to, and we know that now's the time. There's a nice little lull. So we divided into 2 categories. The categories are games that we have started at one point but never finished, and we want to return to. And the other category is games we own but never even tried it, never even started. So and so we've picked one out of each of those 2 categories to be 2 out of the 3 that we're going to mention. And then the third one will be sort of a flex one to say, okay, well, this one is going to come from either or, whatever we feel is it deserves that third slot position.
Yeah, we didn't want to
Yeah.
like just horn into just one of the 2 categories.
Correct,
We wanted
yeah.
to be like, okay, well,
Yeah. And
They're-
then finally, the rest that it never made it to, we'll just rapid fire those off as, hey, possibles, if you will.
mhm,
Possible,
mhm.
Lord knows if you're, come down with some stomach flu or something that you suddenly home for the week and suddenly, well, I got more time on my hands. You suddenly add these to the list. So yeah.
I'm excited about my possibles here.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, let's get a move on here, sir. Let's start with your. Do you want to start with the possibles, or do you want to go into your top?
No, let's go with the one. This is the game that I have not touched.
Okay.
I've never played this game.
Okay.
I own it, and it's been sitting there, and it just calls out to me. Calls out to me every time. Every time I finish a game, I look I look at it and I just want to grab it and open it and play it, but it's not the time for it just yet.
Okay.
That game, sir, how you know, is called 13 Sentinels
Oh,
Aegis Rim.
yes.
I have it in my hand. I have it in my hands. It is still in its shrink wrap.
Oh.
A beautiful version, a beautiful cover. I really love the cover of this PS4 title. It is a Vanillaware joint, and who are the makers of games like Odin's Sphere and Dragon's Crown.
Mm.
They have a particular type of art style that I've always enjoyed. I was actually, especially a big fan of Dragon's Crown. I suddenly feel the hunkering of going back to that game again, because that game, I really enjoyed that game, even though it's just a brawler like Final Fight. But anyway, the thing of this one is that I don't know exactly what I'm getting into, but I'm excited about it. You played this game to completion and you enjoyed it, and I want to have that experience because I do enjoy Vanillaware games.
It is definitely a meaty game. It is not short in any
Evidently.
way.
Yep.
It has a lot of story to tell, and it is told in a very unique way, which can at first be very confusing and jarring as well. Yeah. And but it starts to put the pieces together after so far. And then on top of that has the gameplay portion, which to me, as simplistic as it will seem, was just a lot of fun. Like I wanted more of those gameplay sequences because I would have just been down with it. And yeah, man, there was just something about it, man. Fucking Vanillaware really created something out of the box. This is very, you know, I would almost compare this to Kojima's Death Stranding, where he created something that you just go, yeah, I don't think I'm interested in any of this. And then when you're playing it, you just realize not only you're interested, you're finding it fascinating. You may not even know why, you know? And so I think Vanillaware did something very similar here because, you know, as a big portion of this game kind of feels a little visual novelish, if you will.
It's a lot of text.
There's a lot of text, but it's all completely voice acted. It's completely voice acted. So it's not like you're having to read. So there's
hate reading.
I mean, I'm just saying,
I'm kidding,
you know. And then on top of that, there's, you know, it's a lot of teen melodrama, you know, which, you know, that's just how a lot of Japanese games are.
Again,
but
my favorite subjects, you know.
Yeah. So, but the game and the gameplay appears simple, but it is not. It is.
No.
It is. There's. It's an intricate thing. So, dude, I hope that, you know, during this backlog season you have an opportunity to jump into it. Yeah. That's a great choice, man.
I bought it for a reason, and this is that is definitely one of the games that I will sink my teeth into. That there's no doubt. It's the question of when, because I remember, like you said, it's a meaty game, and like I need to be like honestly, after. You remember how I was telling you that I just got tired of playing I was gonna say Yakuza because it might as well Judgment.
Might as well, man.
And I was eyeing that game. It was the game that I was eyeing, and then I believe you mentioned something about Dark Souls, and it wasn't special. No, my bad. I happened to be looking at you were playing Dark Souls, but you didn't push or anything. I saw it for $15, and I asked you, "Hey man, should I grab this at $15?" And you told me, "Hell yeah!" And I was like, "Okay, I'll grab it because it's a good price." I'm not sure. And then I had a little taste of it, and then I remembered, like, it all came back. Like, oh, okay, yes. I need to do this, but I need to do this right. Let me go and buy the first one, the remaster of the first one. And then, you has now cost me $35.
You are more than welcome. I feel that that was money well spent. So
yeah, absolutely. Anyway, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. It's also rare because usually you see this game full price, $59.99 on Amazon, and then we saw it at 30, and that's when I jumped. It's like, yep, grabbing this title
Excellent job.
because
It's
it is
worth
unique.
for the record. I still think it is a worthy contender for a $60
Yeah.
title. You get
Yeah.
a lot for your money there.
Not sure if it's a game to recommend to just about everyone.
No,
It's
no,
not
not
that
at
type
all.
of game.
Because it has real time strategy elements.
Yes.
If you don't even know what that, if I say that and you don't even know what that means, yeah, this shit ain't for
Or
you.
you cringe,
Yeah,
it's not for you.
It's not for you. Yeah. All right, so
not all any of the anime all the anime in the world will make you change your mind.
correct for sure, for sure. So my first one is also going to be one I have not even started or tried, but I am really looking forward to it when I
Oh.
do. But I also do need assistance in doing so because it is a
Hmm?
co-op only experience, and yes, that is A Way Out. I have that-
Really?
yes. I have that. First off,
May I ask why?
so
No, okay, go.
I know I can answer that question for sure.
I'll be facetious.
Oh. So for me, A Way Out is so. First off, I think I completely understood, and maybe it's because I also want to say fuck the Oscars, but I
Fuck the
completely
Oscars,
understood.
yeah.
The guy, the I can't remember his name now, but the creator of A Way Out, his just realism of where he comes from and stuff like that, and what he's trying to create, and his most recent game, believe it or not, is also very co-op heavy, and but it also tells a really fascinating story, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. Actually,
You're
a lot
talking
of
about
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
Yeah. And
Takes Two.
and that's his second game, and so
Is it Joseph Fares?
Joseph Fares, thank you. Yes, that's
Yeah.
his name. Yeah. That's not his second
Fuck
game.
the Oscars guy.
The fuck the Oscar guy. Yeah. It's not his second game because he did also do, if I'm not mistaken, they are also responsible for Tale of Two Brothers, which I found an excellent game.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that game.
So that's why. So that's the why behind
Mhm.
why is even on my list, and why do I even have it? You know what I mean? And so this is, if you don't know, this is a story of two what appears to be two prisoners who are figuring a way out of prison and try to get out to where they need to. Convicts, yeah. And so it looked extremely fascinating when it first came out, and now I own it, and it's just on the list of something I'm like, I don't know the length because I haven't looked it up, but if I had to guess, I would say it's probably in the 15 to 18 hour range, if at max.
That's a
You know what I mean?
commitment. Yeah.
And well, I'm saying if at max, it may be even look, I don't know, I haven't checked, but I feel it's not going to be a 50-hour thing, obviously.
Right.
So I know that owning the game, I am able to have someone play with me for free. They don't have to buy the game. I can give them there's a particular, I don't know, there's a way of doing it, and there's a way of doing it, and you basically get a friend for free to help out. So, and I'm not trying to throw this on your plate, sir. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying.
you know.
I was just about to say, just let me know when you're ready.
But that is,
we can do this. We can throw in. Yeah.
It seems to be a fascinating story. It looks well acted, and I love stuff like that. And so so A Way Out is my game I've not played, obviously, because this is another thing. You can't play the game solo. You need to have somebody. There's no options to say, oh, let me just go there. No, that's not how that works. And that's another daring thing about his, like the A Tale of Two Sons or Two Brothers. I think it's Tale of Two. Anyway, A Tale of Two whatever brothers. It is two people you're controlling at the same time. It's fascinating how they made that work. But you can tell it was about creating this bond between characters, and I think that's what he's been trying to do. Him and his team have been trying to do, and I hear good things about A Way Out, and I hear great things about It Takes Two. So yeah, man, that's my.
I'll be down. Yeah, I'll be down with that. We probably should be streaming that shit.
I think so too. Oh,
I want to
sure.
get now. I feel like, man, and I probably want to get a camera even because it'll be cool.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
All right, sir. What's your number 2?
All right, so this is the one game that I have. I have touched. I don't want to say it like that. It just sounds weird. This is one game
You
that
have
I've
groped.
started playing.
Okay, yes.
that I've, yes, yes. This is the one game that I have touched inappropriately. And I made it to a point where I want to go back.
You're not helping your case. You're not helping your case.
I got to second base with this game, and I want to go back. Actually,
And the game slapped me in the face and threw water at me, and suddenly I have to go back. Suddenly I can't stop thinking about it.
No, now I have to register. They got to put a red square on my map of my house, and,
All right,
But-
we're getting crazy. Go.
So, and the game that I've actually played, and I will go back, sir, it should come out at no surprise. That game is called Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, for sure, sir.
Because
For
you
sure.
gave me a little taste of it, and I was like, okay, I'm down with this. I enjoy it. I didn't play it long. I didn't play enough to realize I probably fucking hate this game. All right. So, because parry, bro. Parry.
Yeah, this game is heavy on parry.
You know when I literally
It's not heavy on parry.
What?
Dark Souls.
Well, funny you mentioned, because you know when I literally started parrying on Dark Souls today, while I waited to start the podcast. That's when I started like, let me start practicing. I should probably learn this skill because
and it's not that hard, is it?
No, I get fucked up with the timing sometimes, but then I remember that video of you trying to parry that night on Dark Souls
I
3,
sure did.
and I feel better.
Yeah, I
It's a
sure did.
Mikita.
The parry, I don't know. The parry in Dark Souls 3, I was like, there's something off. Like, there's something really off. Like, so this is not me patting myself in the back or anything. Like, on my second try of the final boss of the first Dark Souls 1, you were actually listening because you were playing with Dark, and they were. I parried the shit out of that fucking boss to the point where I was like, this now has become the easiest boss, and that was the last fucking boss. So yeah, I was like parrying for some reason in part 1 versus part 3 of Dark Souls. I don't know what the fuck is up. It's just I'm not getting it, or I'm not understanding it, or it's just some formula.
Different gear, sir. Different gear. You're using different gear. That's
Maybe.
why.
But yes, Sekiro is on a whole different level. It is much more precise. Didn't have a problem with it.
Well, shit. And then but I liked what I played. And a lot of people say, well, the story is the weak part of that game, and I guess I'm fine with that. Honestly,
I think
even playing Dark Souls,
to Dark Souls, dude, I think it's got a better story. At least in game, it does. That's for sure.
And there you go. Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Which actually I have started without delving too much, because I want to try to avoid spoilers that would tell me where to go next. But I have started reading like some general stuff mostly about the bosses I've beaten and the areas that I've been, and it is very interesting how there is a lot of lore for Dark Souls. It's just that the game doesn't bother to expose it in any way, and that's fine. It's because it's not needed, and it's not what the game's is necessarily about. Exactly. You don't need to have like a whole entire motivation where it's like a revenge story or whatever it is. It's just, hey, you woke up, guess what? You're already dead, motherfucker. So now you get to fight while being on the head. So there you go. So yeah. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, sir. That's gonna be.
That's a great choice, sir. My game that I have started and want to go back to, and it's actually already installed. And it's been installed for a little bit, and so that's really what makes it up on my list to say, okay, this is most likely gonna happen. And that, of course, is the very first Well, not the very very first, but Hitman. The Hitman.
Hitman, yes.
When they started doing the reboot, essentially,
Yes.
the Hitman reboot.
Mm.
I have that one, and then I saw. Since then, I heard such wonderful things of Hitman 3.
Oh, it's
And so I was like,
2 and 1, and all of them are equally
no,
amazing.
but it was
so-
the I think the very last one is what kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back. Where it's like,
Oh.
okay, I need them all. Fuck it, I just need them all. You know what I mean? And so
That's
I
a
went.
lot of Hitman, bro.
It is a lot of Hitman. So that's why I'm just throwing in Hitman 1 here.
Shit,
Because
man.
the reality is, I think I only got to the third area, and there's like
You
6
gotta-
areas in the first one. You know,
Was the one in Paris? That was like the best one.
I mean, that was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was
That was a lot
it
of
was
fun, yeah.
really well made. So anyway, Hitman, I loved what I was playing for. I think it's what it is. It's very similar to Ghost of Tsushima for you. I spent too much time on something I've already done, even though I was having fun. It's still burns you out, right? So by the time I got to the later stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're still this is it just got to the point where it was like, but I just want to go back, even if it's just to literally. Because here's the reality of it. I can go through the 6 of them and just go with the very first try. You know what I mean? And it's just it is what it is.
You probably should actually. You
just to
probably
at least
should.
just to at least get through them, and then maybe
The
play around
progression.
with different versions of it.
Yeah.
And then maybe that'll help me jump into part 2 and part 3. I have all 3 of them, and I've been a huge fan of the Hitman series. I never played the original because it was never released on console, but Hitman 2, of the old days, and then forward, I've played them all. And
Wow.
except for Absolution, excuse me, did not play Hitman Absolution, but from what I hear, I didn't really miss much. So, but I played everything before that, and it's just it's one of those series that it's just like, yeah, I didn't realize when I really look at the franchise, and I didn't realize I was a fan of it until I just said, man, yeah, I kind of been into more of them than I have not, And anyway, so I don't want to stay too long.
Hitman is. I mean, you nailed it in the head, right? The problem with Hitman is that there's so much content on each game that every stage it feels like, even though you beat it and you are progressing in the story, you kind of want to go back because now you're a little bit more confident about the area. Now you know certain things to do, and now you feel like the actual assassin. Now that you know the lay of the land,
Yep.
And you don't want to go to the next area necessarily. You're not in a hurry to go, I should say, to the next area because now you feel like you got to play very slow, very methodically. Like you're not that Hitman from the movies guy,
Exactly,
and but at the same time, there is a draw to trying those levels again because of all the stuff that you unlock, and it could be stuff, it could be things. I mean, if I remember correctly, but I think there are stuff that you can unlock that you can use later on in the game. So
yeah, so every run is as you unlock stuff, it's just it's very similar to. Believe it or not, it's very similar to what do you call it? Fucking roguelike, right? Because if you don't make it, you start from the beginning for the most part, how you started before. But you have your occasional unlocks that help you to go forward. So yeah, man, I think
that's a solid one. That's a solid one. All right, so this flex spot.
Oh boy.
What I misunderstood horribly as the flesh bot before, and I had to buy me one of those.
Horribly indeed. Yeah. And suddenly you have to check your, internet stuff.
Yeah. I need to erase my browser cache. This one will come as a surprise.
Oh.
I will say that it might shock you even.
Oh.
It will come out of left field.
Is it a never played or played and didn't finish?
This one I've never played.
Oh. Okay.
This game is... Hold on, I forgot the name of it.
Wow. Wow.
Hold on.
It bodes well. It bodes well for this game.
No. I have the number wrong. Resident Evil Village.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know you owned that. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
right.
Nice.
So, Resident Evil Village is a game that intrigued me. I saw it on a sale on Amazon. They had it for $30, $29.99, and I was like, "Yep, this is the moment to jump on it." I'll probably play it whenever, but I like what I've seen so far, and reviews are decent, and it kind of won me. That's what do you remember? I don't know if you remember. At one point, I started asking you a lot about 7, or maybe not a lot, but we started talking about Resident Evil 7, and you were telling me how I needed to play it, how I needed to, and yeah, that's true. I should play that, and that's my intention also. But I definitely want to play this game because it seems like it seems like it, and I could be wrong, but and also not necessarily that I want it to be more actiony or anything like that, but it seems a little bit more fast paced than 7. Oh, the 7. And also it doesn't look like it has, and again, I could be wrong because I was certainly wrong about Resident Evil 2 remake, but it doesn't have the bullshit aspect of the gameplay showstopper where, oh, you're not allowed to have fun anymore because we're going to present you with this stupid enemy that is sure, he is beatable, but he's so not beatable, but he is handleable, if that's a word. You can handle the,
really,
you know, but it's still so annoying that you just don't want to. You know, it's like it's like I'll give you another example of that exact thing. Yakuza 0, which is a game that I really love, and I did play that one to the end. Yakuza 0 had a character. I think he was it was character. It's a big tough guy called Mr. Shake Up. That was his name because he will shake you up for money, and basically every time you see him on the map, your option was to fight him or run away, because if he catches you and you fight and you lose the fight, he will take all your money. He will shake you down. And that money could be like, you could have billions of yen. You will lose it all. Suddenly, you will lose it all.
And no way of getting it back.
And that I know of, no way of getting it back. So I'm like, why do developers put this bullshit components in games like, oh, our game is too fun so far. Let's just throw a monkey wrench into the whole machinery to make the player go like, okay, this is not fun anymore, you know? And I mean, needless to say, I always was very wary of where I was walking and because I didn't want to face the guy, and maybe that was the whole point, to have you playing like that. But now I'm not having fun. I'm actually at a state of not like not nervous, but like concerned the whole time that one bad step over here and I can fuck my game up. And it's not like Resident Evil 2 can fuck your game up and suddenly.
I was gonna say that's not as danger as Resident Evil 2.
No. It's just all the waste is time. But see, time at my age is a precious commodity. Believe it or not, I get to decide how I want to spend it or not. You know, if I want to literally not, wait and do nothing, hey, that's on me. But if the game makes me waste my time, then that's at one point I'm gonna be like, nope, and I shut it down and I never go back to it. And it's a shame, because Resident Evil 2 remake is fucking amazing.
It is.
Except until it gets to that part.
It's fine.
Fuck Mr. X. Fuck Mr. X in the asshole with a rubber dildo, please.
Wow. All right. My number 3 And final and flesh spot. What was it
Flash
you call
spot.
it?
Wow.
Fleshlight? I don't know.
Flashlight.
Anyway,
I
the
did
the
not call it
third
flashlight.
one, you said something along those lines, sir. I was there. I heard it, and so did everybody here. My third one is a game that I've wanted to go back to and has recently sparked even more attention thanks to our very own Chaos Reaper,
Oh.
because he's actually doing his playthrough right now on Twitch. So go
Oh.
to Good Game Gamer Group on Twitch, and you will see some of his highlights. And that, of course, is a game called Blasphemous. Blasphemous,
Oh,
yes,
yes. I saw him play the other day.
yes. Blasphemous is an excellent video game. It's a 2D side-scrolling action game that has some very cool elements. I mean, just
Yeah.
overall very cool. It's not an easy game. I think it's more. I think honestly, it may be more Ninja Gaiden than most people want to give it credit for, because you do have some elements to put into. So you have some RPG elements, but if you
Yeah.
just look at it, it's like it's really more, traversing the area and getting as far as possible and trying not to get hit, just like Ninja Gaiden back in the day. So,
Like NES Ninja Gaiden. Yeah.
the NES Ninja Gaiden, yes, of course. And so I think it was an excellent game. I did start this, and it does fall into Metroidvania. So I want to make sure people know that. I did start this when it first came out, and something
Mhm.
just shit takes over, and before you know it, you moved on to something else. It wasn't bad in any way. Actually, it was really really fun, and really really well designed. The art style was really good. It was pretty graphic for what it was, even though it was maybe 16-bit style. But I watching him play, I was actually able to watch him play a little bit earlier today, and I was just like, man, I want more of this. I
Yeah.
want more of this. And again, being a little bit of a smaller title in the sense that it's not going to be, a 50-hour game. It's like,
Mhm.
yes, it's much more doable in this time, and it's really what I want in this time.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Blasphemous, by developer The Game Kitchen. So really good stuff that I did play before, sir.
That game is the most Chaos Reaper game
Oh,
that
dude.
I've seen out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. So we're going to go ahead and quickly rapid fire our remainders here and maybe give a line or two as to why they're even there on this list. Sir, do you want to start with the games we haven't touched or the games that we are?
Oh, I didn't put this one. I mean, I could tell you if I played it or not, but in no particular order.
Okay.
I can mention one, and then you bring one, and then I bring one if you like. If you want to do it like that.
Let's do it.
All right. So, first game of my throwaway list
Throwaway.
is,
Wow.
is Monster Boy
The first
and the
child
Curse.
I want to sacrifice. No, I'm sorry.
I just ruined my entry.
I'm sorry.
Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. This is, of course, the spiritual successor of Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap. Another game that I do want to go back to. And I really like. I've always really liked the art, the style of these games. They harken back to those old adventure type Wonder Boys games that I really really like. Uh, and of course it is a excellent side scroller platformer, very charming, very cool, very nice graphics, very colorful. The music is excellent. So yeah, that's a
You
game
have-
that I started playing,
Oh, you have.
and
Okay.
yeah, I did start playing that one, and it just wasn't meant to be at that point, but I definitely want to go back.
Okay. All right. So since you're going with the half plate, I'm gonna throw this out here, and this should come as no surprise to anyone, and I won't stay very long in it. And that is, of course, Bloodborne. I've been dying to go back to this game, and
Bloodborne.
let me tell you, I can care less what comes out. This will probably take over if they release a 60 frames per second 4K version of it. Sony, fuck are you doing? Make this shit happen already. This is bullshit. But yes,
They want to sell it
Bloodborne.
to you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because right now Bloodborne is just $10, but whatever. Yeah, so Bloodborne is my first
Ooh.
rapid fire.
All right. All right. Well, my next one, it's also going to be a little bit surprising. I definitely want to go back to this. I did play this, and then it got remade, and I decided, like, well, let me start playing it again.
Oh.
But not necessarily the main game, but the DLC. I'm talking about The Last of Us Left Behind.
Oh, that shit.
I have never
happened.
finished Left Behind, not even on PS3.
Yeah.
I played Last of Us and I enjoyed it, even though I kind of took my time with that game because that game was heavy, or it felt heavy when I was playing it. But it was a great game to play around that time also, and getting to the story of Left Behind, I was intrigued. Fortunately, by the time that I started playing that, I believe there was already rumination, or I don't remember if I already owned the next gen console or not. I probably did. I want to say that was one of those games that I just left abandoned because of PlayStation 4 came out. Woo! Let's play next gen titles.
Could be. Yeah, even though it came to PlayStation 5, but whatever.
Well, it came PlayStation 4.
4.
And yeah, it came to PlayStation 4. So that's why I say I'll go back to it.
All right, so I never played one. I like it. I will follow your path, sir, with a never played one. And on my list is Star Wars Squadrons.
Yay!
Yes.
Actually, you should play
title
that.
From EA that I have not played at all, and thanks to the power of PlayStation Plus, I actually have in my library now, and I'm kind of interested. And I'm like, I know that this is not probably a long game or anything like that, but I feel like
No,
it's
not super
definitely
long.
a beautiful way to, in between the
Mhm.
game that you want to do. And so
Yeah.
because of that, I'm like, you know what? This may be feasible. This may actually move up into the main list of 3. Who knows?
Nice.
But yeah, it's definitely on my list.
Love it. Love it. All right. My next game I have not played. I have not touched. I own it, and it also happens to be another shrink wrap edition. I'm talking about Immortal Phoenix Rising.
Oh,
And that is a Ubisoft original.
Yeah, Ubi joint.
Like they're calling all their games Ubisoft original. It's like they're thinking, it's like, okay, Ubisoft, you're not Netflix, all right? Just chill. But oh, you see what I did there? I didn't mean to.
Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't mean to that time. But no, I admit it. I'm a sucker for Ubisoft open world games. Evidently,
There you are.
That you are. I'm a Ubi whore.
I didn't say all that, but yeah, hey, it is what it is.
I
Accept
really
your position. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I really like their world building. I think it's excellent. Or I mean, maybe it's not excellent. No, actually, yeah, excellent. It's a good description, because why else would I want to explore and stuff like that? They're like they're interesting worlds to explore, to go about, and this and I really enjoyed most recently Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I really like that game. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a proper ending, but it does have what you would consider an ending, I guess. So, it does wraps things up. It doesn't throw you into credits, so you don't know if you actually beaten the game or not. So you're left wondering, like, is there anything else I need to do?
It's on purpose, for sure.
You made all of this. All of this possible. Why was it difficult to just let me know that it was ending? So yeah, that would be the next one.
All right. Mine here is going to be a revisit, because I feel like you probably You're probably gonna like this. It's a revisit that I have revisited many times, but I know I can make it through because it's not even that fucking long. And that is, of course, Platinum Games Vanquished.
Oh God.
Yeah, yes, which I own and is on my PlayStation 5 at the moment. Also installed, FYI. Yeah, Vanquish, my friend.
I,
That is a game I have. I and it's the funny thing is I don't know what it is. I feel like I enjoyed it. I always have fond memories, but I can't even remember why I stopped playing. And mind you, I've played from the beginning probably more than 3 times already, and I don't know what it is. Either I'm getting caught by something else, or it's just not grabbing me. I don't know what the case may be. But the reality is,
it's
I
a good
want to
action
do it.
game.
Yeah.
It's a great
I've
action.
actually
I mean,
looked this up, and I think that the total game time is like 8 hours. And I'm like, fuck, I can do 8 hours. What the hell? You know what I mean? Shit. So.
I mean, you should actually be doing Bayonetta, but that's fine. You know, you can do that too. My next game that I'm gonna throw there is gonna be Neo Replicant.
Oh shit! Wow.
Was that
Are you
the game that I said I would never touch again?
pretty much?
I kind of have to. I kind of have to. You don't understand. It's like when the world tells you, "Oh, it's a good game. Keep going at it." You have no other choice but to fuck. I mean, let's do it then. Let's get it over with.
No other choice but to
What the fuck? Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuck myself by playing Near Replicant again. God damn it.
I see it happening, and you know what? You know what the crazy part is? I
What?
also see you enjoying it.
Liking it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I told you I was gonna happen. It's gonna get to the part where it's gonna drop the bullshit and it's gonna get interesting, and then it's gonna do something that is gonna be like amazing, and I'm gonna fall in love, and it's gonna be game of the year suddenly.
Yeah. I feel like that's exactly what's gonna happen.
I was gonna play.
You were gonna what?
No, I said that's the way it's probably gonna be.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this out here, and this really should come as no surprise to anyone whatsoever, and that is, of course, the recently backlogged Dark Souls 2.
I thought we were not gonna mention Dark Souls. Okay,
I hear you.
Let's this list again.
We're talking reality here and realistic
Dark Souls
lists. Okay. And I bought it for $10, and frankly, it's looking at me and it's saying, "Hey, you played 1 and 3. What the fuck is up? Why aren't you playing us?" And you know what? At some point, the puppy dog eyes work, and I'm like, you know what? All right, well, I guess maybe I'll have to.
You should. Yeah, you need to finish the fight. That's what it's all about. Finish the fight. My last one that I'm gonna throw in and I definitely want to play this game because I saw of it recently and it looked very, very fun. I have not touched this, but it has come from a very high place of recommendation. I'm talking about Death's Door.
Ooh, yes.
A certain Mad Dog gifted me this game and said, "Dude, you gotta fucking play this." WTF. And that's actually what's said on the title. It's WTF. You need to play this. You need to play this. and that's it. That's what he said on the card. Is you need to play this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But what that basically translates to is, you're my bro, and this game's fucked up. So
because you're my bro, and this game's fucked up. There you go. Yes. Death's Door looks amazing.
Oh, it's probably one of the tops of it. I guarantee you will see that game in many of Game of the Years by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're with the last one. I have 4 left, so I'm just gonna roll through them real quick. Really quick. I'm gonna start with 2 that I have played, and I really want to go back to. And I think we just spoke about this recently, and that was
You can't say Dark Souls.
Nope, Cyber Shadow.
Cyber Shadow, yes.
Which we just mentioned before, is a Yacht Club's game. Excellent Ninja Gaiden inspired, like traditional 8-bit Ninja Gaiden or maybe 16-bit Ninja Gaiden inspired game. Excellent game. Loved it. I honestly don't know what happened. I couldn't even explain why I stopped playing because I was enjoying the shit out of it. but I want to go back. It's still installed.
Or were
One,
you?
no, I was.
Man.
The next one is another one that I played, and I think you even own. That is a little title called Valfaris, which is another 2D action game.
Faris,
Yes.
yeah, that
Uh,
game got too hard.
It does
Suddenly.
get hard. Yeah, it does get hard. I'm not gonna lie, but I was enjoying the shit out of it, and it has some really awesome visuals. And I want to go back. I will probably start it from the beginning. It is what it is, but that's definitely on my list. These other two I have not played, and I know that they're massively lengthy, which is why technically they're so far out. The only reason they're here is because when I think of my backlog, for some reason they keep popping up. That's really the only reason.
Oh.
The reality is they only pop up to go, yeah, I'm probably still not going to get to that. So one is Days Gone, because on
Days
PlayStation 5
Gone.
has
Oh, God.
gotten really good updated reviews, believe it or not, because of how the
Oh.
PlayStation 5 runs. And, there has been updates to the game, because the game did come out in a little bit of a poor state, believe it or not, for a Sony first party. But it has been updated. It is received many a things, so much so it's part of the collection for PlayStation 5, which is how I have it, because I didn't buy it. And so that's why it's like, well, they wouldn't put it part of the collection if they didn't feel it was something worthy of that. And frankly,
True.
I'm gonna say that's probably what it. And I know people who have played it. I know people who enjoyed it. So it's like, okay, but it's also a 50-hour game. So it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna put that into it. And the
Yeah.
last one, you're probably gonna laugh at this one, because you were like, dude, you're never gonna fucking play this. And yet, whenever I think of my backlog, that's one of the first games that pop up. And then I look at it and I just go, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking play this shit. And that is XCOM 2, which I fucking own. And honestly, I don't know why.
are
It always
never
fucking
gonna play
yeah, I know, but it always it's always. Do you know? Here's the sad part. It's not downloading now. I think I actually moved it out, but I have literally downloaded. If it wasn't the fact that we don't use a lot of data, we would have and the fact that I don't think that our data caps are very very low. We would have gone through our data caps just for the amount of times in a month that I have downloaded and uninstalled and downloaded and uninstalled this stupid game. And it's just like, I want to play because I really love the first XCOM.
Yeah, the first XCOM was excellent. And to be fair, this one is this one has. If you like the first one, you should love the second one. And who knows? You like extremely difficult games. This will be right up your fucking alley. Like,
that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, I
move
know
this shit up.
This is exactly what I want. And at the same time, it's just, again, I also know, because I have no problem looking at howlongtobeat.com. It's like, all right, what am I looking at as far as an investment? And it's not short. It's not a short investment.
1 million now.
Yeah, might as well be. It's, I think, if I remember, it's right up there with Days Gone, between 45 to 50 hours. And it's just, and that's just regular. I think they have 3 categories. Just focusing, beelining the main story, main story plus some extras, and then completists. And I think the main story with extras is where I almost always land, right? Because I don't avoid side missions, but I don't go searching for everything. So that's where I think it was 45 to 50 hours. I'm just like, fucking hell. I just, it's a time investment. And the reality is, if the game is great, it won't feel like a time investment. No, but I don't know. And just knowing ahead of time, it's like, oh. So that's it, guys. That's all I have on my list. And that's all we have in our list. So thanks so much for tuning in. As always, guys, if you got some games that you have on your list that you want to share to see, hey, this is on my backlog, and I want to make an attempt to get that out of the way, by all means, share in the comments, either on YouTube or on any of the streams that you're listening this to, or of course in the group, guys, goodgame.tech. Go there and join the conversation, and add that information over in the post for the podcast itself. So yeah, this is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Mr. Santos, take us home.
I lie to you guys. I'm not gonna touch any of these games. Of course, it's gonna be Dark Souls for a shit a lot of times, because I'm not good. So it's gonna take me some time. I'm kidding.
I think you're in for a surprise with how.
No.
I just think you're in for a surprise.
I know that game is it's becoming easier as I go, and part of it is the fact that, well, I'm stronger, obviously, but
You're
also
grinding too. Yeah. Yep.
but exactly I am, I kept I'm keeping at it, and it pays off, and I knew it. I knew it from the very first time. This is the fixed version. This is not the fucked up version of PS3, Xbox 360 broken Blacktown version. So I finally get this game has finally been released last year, and now I get to play
It only
it.
took 9 years.
It only took 9 years
Fun
to get
fact,
it.
sir. The Souls game, this is called Bloodborne. So Soulsborne games have that element where if you grind enough early on, the rest of the game is not easier, but it doesn't become easy, I should say, but it becomes manageable.
Right.
Sekiro's not like that. Unfortunately,
No.
unfortunately, Sekiro's
No.
not like that.
Sekiro is like, oh, you need to know the hard parties.
Yeah, it requires
you
the
mean.
development of a
And party.
skill, and that's all there is to it. It's just like, look, you're either going to develop the skill or you're not. There's no way around it. It really
I know
is
which
no
one
way
I'm
around it.
avoiding then.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
GG!